All right. Time to tell everyone that we're live. I hope the internet connection stays well. Oh my gosh. Glory of Team Rocket booster box for 145. That's awful. Send. 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 All right. Looks like YouTube is connected. Looks like Twitch is connected. Cool, cool, cool. I think I've told just about everyone. Here to learn something. Yo, what up, Gatorade? I'm here to learn something as well as practice. Oh, no, I didn't try to, dang it. I forgot to change my, I forgot to change my live notification on Twitch. I forgot to do that. Dang it. I was so close. I was so close to being on it. Let's see. Yo, what's up, Arf? I can't wait for EB02 as well. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm really curious about the format on top of that. Hopefully the stream, it seems like the stream is okay. Messages displaying. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I forgot to change the live notification chat on Twitch. Today, for anyone who does not know what we're doing today, we are doing two things. One, well, I guess the camera's over here. One, the first thing that we're doing today is we are going over decks that get upgraded in EB02. Not like some of the, like not too much. Well, actually, no, there's not really many. Like Shanks and stuff don't really get updated, and like Bonnie, they don't really get updated on EB02, so I'm not going to include those, or like Rob Lucci, really. So I'm going to be talking about some of the other decks, definitely more rogue options that get much more viable, I think, or get pieces to become more viable in EB02. Yo, what's up, Time on Keybead? Thoughts on the Boa deck? I think Boa is like really interesting. It's definitely one of the more rogue options, and I think it has some pretty decent matchups, right, with the constant removal that it has. But I don't know. It's really curious that not as many people as I thought would play it, right? Because like was it before the ban list or right after the ban list that Boa did like super well in Australia? And nobody's really like carried that momentum. It's kind of weird. I thought it would catch on a little bit more, but um yeah. Green Purple Luffy. I'm not going to talk too much about Green Purple Luffy today, Gatorade. I will mention a list, but I have a whole, like, I think it's like a 25-minute video going over like EB02 Green Purple Luffy deck lists and versions. So I will talk about Green Purple Luffy a little bit because there has been like progression through the meta, and Green Purple Luffy has evolved. But I'm not gonna spend as much time as I will talking about some of the other decks though. But it's really cool. I like Green Purple Luffy a lot. Yo, what up, Fog Owl? Calgara and Enel eating good. Yeah, I mean they needed it, especially after the Rygo ban. Like Enel needs EB02. He really, really does to be successful. I really like Starter Deck 21. There's a lot of like really cool things with Starter Deck 21. Oh, also, I forgot to put starting. Man, it's been like a week since we've streamed chat because, you know, just busy. And I forget how to do everything. But yeah, I'll be starting in a moment in terms of that. And then also, chat, after we go over those deck lists, after we go over the deck list, we will then be doing commentary videos. So I've recorded some local matches. I've recorded some local like OP10 matches, and we'll be commentating some of those. I want to try to get into more commentary again. Cuz I've low key like fallen off of commentary. So I don't have like green purple Luffy matches to commentate, but I've got some post ban OP10 stuff. And honestly, like some of our locals are pretty competitive because they're very frequently like box tournaments and stuff, so it could be some good stuff. And also I just need to get back into casting and practice casting in time for when the Japan Championships kick back up, which I think is after, I think it's like either like the weekend after EB02 comes out in the West or soon after, because in the I don't have exact dates, but the One Piece trading card game Asian website has like a chart of like a schedule for the competitive season, and it says that the championships like start in the middle of May. So it's sometime this month. So yeah. Yo, nice D4C. Just burn Enel. Interesting that you're so high up on Sim. I know ladder just reset, but like being top 10 is like crazy. Being top 10 is insane. Congratulations. Blue purple Luffy is like in a really, or I'm sorry, not blue purple, black purple. Black purple Luffy is really, really cool. I want to play with that deck a little bit. I want to play with that deck a little bit. You've only gotten a dark side, so I recommend a lot of them. If you're available on Sunday, Megs, if you're available on Sunday, Nostalgic Knickknack, they're having a case tournament. So that's going to be a really fun one, in my opinion. I really recommend Nostalgic Knickknack if you live on the south side. Not necessarily like Henderson or like, it's probably a little bit closer to Summerlin. But I really like Nostalgic Knickknack. I go a lot to Power 9 just because of my schedule. Power 9's really, really good. That's going to be the games that we're commentating over today. Many Realms, it's a new location. They're going to start having locals on Sunday as well if you live like more towards Allegiant Stadium. That's going to be a nice location, and they're going to be opening up more and more stores Southwest. So probably like Many Realms, Nostalgic Knickknack are really good ones to go to then. Many Realms is going to be starting on Sunday. Nostalgic Knickknack usually has events like I don't want to get it wrong. Megs, if you go in the description, if you go to the description on YouTube and you join our Discord server, send me a DM. If you send me a DM, I'll invite you to the Las Vegas Discord server. We have like a community calendar of all the stores that have events and stuff like that every month. So I can like share that with you if you're not in there. Yeah, like everybody in Las Vegas that plays One Piece is like in that server, and you know, it's easy to like trade cards or get cards off people, or like know what events are doing what. Yeah, you can DM me wherever. Wherever's most convenient to you. I just said YouTube or I just said Discord because you're on the YouTube chat. But yeah, just shoot me a DM. And I'll send you the after stream probably. I'll send you the link to the Las Vegas Discord server for sure. Fishman Rosie, dude, I love the Fishman Rosinante stuff. I might wait a little bit until 11 because of the Fishman stuff that come in that set, right? Based on like the Ikailakai video. But I think that it could be cool to come out in EB02 because we get that Rosinante, which is so good, you know? Oh yeah, Night and Day in Town Square. That's a good point, Serge. Night and Day might also be good too. In Town Square. Yeah. They've gone up lately. They've gone up in the ranks of in like hosting events and stuff like that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, friend. Appreciate it. I do though, chat. Speaking of which, I do not have the Rosinante on my I do not have Rosinante set for the video. I kind of forgot about that leader. So let's go get that actually before we get going. Cuz we have Ikylakai's video. And so we can just use that. If I do this and go left monitor, that needs to be like way lower. There we go. Why is that like not all the way over? Yeah. Chat, if you're not watching Ikylakai, you're missing out on some of the best information in One Piece that is out for free. He posted this video of the Fishman Rosinante, and it is so good. It is so good. So we are going to real quickly put this list in before I do anything else, chat. So I'm going to... Where is... There he is. I'm going to put this in real quick, chat. So I'm going to be not as talkative for a hot second. Tell me what deck you're playing in EB02 chat. Tell me what deck you're playing. There is a set of cards that we will have to figure out if you do not know the 6-cost Jinbei that's in that list. That is coming out in OP11. So you're not going to be able to... you're not going to be able to play with that guy. But let's see. Jinbei. Got that. Because we do have that Jinbei promo. We have Hody. 4 of those. You've got Kid in this deck. You got 4 of those. That is Slave Arrow, I believe. Morticia already getting on my lap. Do you ever play like Ivankov in here? I wonder if I ever play Ivankov in here. How do you spell Hotchan? Hotchan? Oh, I guess that doesn't like filter at all. Oh well. Let's see. Fishman. I don't know who this guy is. Zio, that's his name. So we need 3. I might honestly just do like Ivankov. I might honestly just do Ivankov, chat. What do you guys think? Here, let me switch over to this screen. Let's see. Let me catch up on chat now. Enel making a comeback. You're excited. Enel definitely gets better with EB02. You going to talk about Kuro? I actually don't have a Kuro list. I don't think I've ever seen like an EB02 Kuro list, to be honest, Squash. Yo, what up, Tony? We are getting some commentary videos. Yes, we're getting some commentary videos. I think what I'm going to do, chat, in all honesty, I know some of you really like the videos that I've been posting recently where I'm like actually the one playing the games and I'm playing like IRL with my friends. But I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Not because I don't like doing it. I love doing it. You know, I love playing with my friends. I love like playing IRL and stuff. They just do so bad on the channel. They do so bad. Like a week's worth of those videos, do like combined do just as much as like the video that I posted a couple days ago about what was the video I posted a couple days ago? The buy list for EB02. Morticia, you can't be on the table. So I think I'm not going to do the gameplay videos and instead try to do like more commentary videos, right? Because a lot of times as well, I would do those gameplay videos and people would ask like, oh, are you doing commentary anymore? Did you stop doing commentary? And I'm like, no, there's just no Japanese championships. So I might go ahead and start doing those again instead of like me actually playing games. It's just like the time that I put into it and the output that it gives. Because if you look like all around YouTube and especially One Piece TCG YouTube, like those gameplay videos just don't do well, right? None of them really do that well. So I think for the effort that I put in, I think I'd rather just make commentary videos, right? Because I do need to think in a sense at this point with my life, I do need to think about paying rent, and stuff, and like what is the best enjoyment that I get and the best use of my time, and I just don't know if those are the best use of my time, right? So that's the long-winded answer. Oh yeah, you could use the 2-cost Fishman chum blocker. Oh, actually that might be better. Yeah. That might be better because you can play it off of the guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. This guy, Hammond. We'll put him in. I want to play Calgara combat. Any potential for Usopp commander upgrades? To be honest, I don't have a ton of experience in the Four Emperors format. So I don't know, but potentially. Purple Black Luffy all the way. Wait, really? The new EB02 cards with Carrot will be more fun for maxing? Really? What green cards do you get in EB02 that... Oh, I have the Fishman filter. Oh, yeah. Definitely Carrot, yeah, goes in and gets that. Yeah, and that's a big help. That's definitely a big help. Sure, if you want to send me the Kuro list. Black Cat owners. I know, they were so fun, so it's like, I hate that. I'm going to try to do them just in a different way eventually. I just need to find for those gameplay videos, I just need to find what method works, and the way that I was doing it was not working. So I need to like rethink and like try again a different way, Yeah, Fire Fist. And that's because like they just don't do as well, right? Like when I put out commentary videos of the Japan Championships, you guys click on that so fast, whether that's in your recommended feeds, whether that's in your notifications, whether that's, the Discord notification that goes out that says like, hey, this new video has come up. You guys click on that so fast. But when the gameplay videos don't, or when the gameplay videos come out, people don't click on them as much because they're not as interested in it. So therefore, it makes it harder for other people to find it as well because YouTube's not pumping it out as much, Can I paste? Wow. Okay. Can I paste the list into chat? I can put it in the Discord server. I'll put it in the Discord server. Copy deck list to clipboard. I'm also gonna save this as EB02 Rosie. I'll post it in the Discord I'll make this stream deck section. I'll post it in there just so I don't clog chat. I know, Cosmic Ryan. I think they're just waiting for the starter deck. I think they're just waiting for EB02 to come out in the West. That's my personal opinion. I think they're just waiting for EB02 to come out in the West. So then there's not like, so we're not thinking about like the starter decks EB02 and OP11 at the same time, you know? Sugar is really, really cool. I've played a couple games with Sugar and I really love it. Calgara with the Nolan searcher and Enel. I actually don't think that I have I don't have a Nolan list on here. Or I'm sorry, Calgara list. I have the Enel deck, but I don't have the Hold on, I got to find one real quick. I'll be able to find one pretty easily. What set did he come in? It's Calgara OP08. Should be. Where's the Calgara? Oh my gosh. I do not have a Calgara list in OP08. Or I do not have like an EB01. I do not have an EB01 Calgara list. Chat, does anybody have a Calgara list real quick that they can send me? Because honestly, like, I don't know fully like what Calgara looks like. And I would hate to just like build a Calgara list right now with no testing and it just be really, really bad. Let's maybe like in the English OP10 there's been one. No, there's not been one. Let's see. So let's clear deck. Let's go yellow. We have Calgara. You definitely want where is it? Where are they? Definitely want these guys. You want to place at each of those. Oh, you've got a Calgara list right here. Thank you, Gatorade. Import from clipboard. Wait a minute. Copy. Import deck from clipboard. Wait, why is it not showing up? Let me go to the Eggman deck builder real quick. Maybe that'll help. Calgara, I know all the cards that I put in, Calgara just ate them real quick. Import there. I think it's because these don't have the enter lines through them because they're coming from Twitch chat. Which is fine because I just have to copy I just have to hit enter on all these in like the Eggman deck builder and then copy. Did that still not work? Oh my gosh. What? Am I being punked right now, chat? Are you guys punking me? Copy. There we go. Got it. That took a bit. Wait, Calgara won the Eggman event last weekend? I had no idea. Was it One Piece events? It's technically OP10. Where's his tournament? Did he put it on his website? Leader. I don't even know if he has it on his website. No, I got a Gatorade now. The 5-cost Shirahoshi lets you find the Nolan. Oh, yeah. Like, I think personally, I would personally play the Shirahoshi. Well, also, this doesn't have upgrades with EB02, right? We'd have to change up this list to include EB02 stuff. So what should we take out on this? Probably take out a couple of these. So we have the Ohm Holly package, which I think is okay. Because it's Sky Island, right? So many Sky Island pieces in here. It kind of makes sense. I don't know if we need Genbo. Yeah, like the things that I'm thinking of right now are like, yeah, we got to upgrade this. But this is a good start, though. Yeah, the 10 cost Enel is like really interesting because like I said in my set review like, oh, this card like you can play the Enel in this deck, right? And then there were a couple people in chat that were like, it doesn't work as well as you think it does. I was like, oh, interesting. You think the 2-cost search? Yeah, we could legitimately put the 2-cost search event in this deck. You probably want to keep this. I feel like maybe we get rid of El Thor. Yeah, the X-Drake is good in here. Is the X-Drake good? Because, like, maybe that's what Flame Split's for, right? But they're both non-searchable. Where is that EB02 event? It should be easy to find, right? There it is. So I definitely think we play this. Yo, what up, Domo? Let me look. Let me look on YouTube. Oh, you posted it in the general. Oh, this is Vivi. Okay, so I'm gonna have to give him a shout out then. I'm gonna have to give him a shout out for this. Oh, he's not playing 10 cost Enel or playing the. Oh, he's not playing any EB01 cards. Yeah, he's not playing any EB01 cards. He is like -1 here. Not playing this guy. 2 of these. 2 of these. 3, 4. It's got 2 Gadatsu in there. 2 X-Drake. And then 2 of... What's her name? It's like it's got a K in it. I don't remember her name, and I've even seen this part of the anime. Yeah, this one, Rocky. He's got 2 Rocky in here. I wouldn't include this in the video, though, simply because it doesn't use any EB01 cards. 2 search event EB02. You could just replace Shura altogether with the EB02 stuff, but the trigger is so good. What's the trigger on is there a trigger on this? Oh wait, I have it filtered. Oh yeah, use the card's main effect. Yeah, let's take Shura out. Oops, that's Holly. Let's take Shura out. put the music to these. Yeah, the VV box tournament had this in, which I think is really interesting, right? Chum blockers are on an uptick, and Rocky is like the chum blocker of this deck, right? Searchable chum blocker. Or I guess you don't really have how much search do you actually have? Oh, upper yard. Yeah. Right. What else would I get rid of though? Cuz I want to put the Enel in here. Yeah, like being able to find Nolan's really, really sick. I love the idea of the Shirahoshi in this event. Maybe I go like -2 ace, +2 of the Enel. I almost just want to get rid of the Rocky and put in Shirahoshi. Hey, nope. You need to. Thank you. She's not allowed to be on the desk because she will go behind the monitor and then unplug the monitor. Gadatsu isn't needed, you think? We could take out Gadatsu. What was I thinking about putting in here? Chat, what was I talking about? I think like in a deck like this, you either play Ace or Enel. You know? Oh, Shirahoshi. We could do like 3 of them. EB02 Sanji. I've thought about the Sanji. I have definitely thought about the Sanji. It's a good legitimate blocker. What if we just like did this? What if we did this, chat? We still have like our Sky Island package, right? So we rarely whiff off of upper yard. We've got our big rush guy. We've got some filter in these two, along with a blocker, right? A legitimate blocker. And Shirahoshi, along with the music vent, is nice to be able to find Noland. Oh, we've got the. Oh, are you thinking of the 7 cost Enel combat? We've got the 10 costs in here. I don't know if you need like 4 copies of the 10 cost because you have so much like search and draw. Expensive blocker in an aggro deck. You think so? When it hits, it shifts all momentum. Yeah, chump blocker. Yeah. I love all the small blockers. They're all my homies. What do you guys think, chat? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like the reasoning behind the Rocky. And it's like easily able to be found, right? The only thing is you just can't grab it off of this, which is fine, I guess. You know? I mean, it's got counter on it, so it's not a brick. I would say let's go with Rocky. You definitely play this Sanji and Enel, right? You definitely play the Sanji and Enel, but I think as, you know, like fifth string and stuff is pointing out in chat, like you're just so aggressive that like you'd rather put out just this small blocker. You think Shirahoshi out, Luffy. You guys don't like Shirahoshi? Shirahoshi is like the OG. Bram? I don't like Bram. Rest one of your opponent's characters with cost of 4 or less. Do I like Bram? I don't know. Like being able to bottom deck full lead is sick. Ooh. What if we just chat? Hear me out. Hear me out. What about this? What about this? Yeah, we get rid of Going Merry. We get rid of Full Lead. We get rid of Germa Kingdom, right? Usopp stage, yeah, we get rid of Kurita Coliseum. Is that just about like all the stages right now in the format? Yeah, the Going Merry. Yeah. Maybe, yeah. You know what? Let's put a couple of them in. The only thing is we can't find it off this. But I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah. We've got a decent amount of stuff going on right here. We've got a decent amount of things going on. I primarily just wanted to put this and this in the deck. Mainly this. Because y'all keep telling me that this is so good in the deck. Because, like, you can find this. Do we ever... No, we keep X-Drake in. How many 2Ks are we running? We're running 10? 10 2Ks? Right? Wiper, X-Drake, and Satori. Okay. We have some counter events, too. Do we ever get rid of, like, El Thor? I can see why we keep Blaze Split. Do we ever get rid of Blaze Split? Because we have Bram? No, because this is a 1-cost event that rests a 4, while this is 3 and this is 3. Yeah, like the Wiper effect is so crazy. Yeah, I mean, you have so much like search potential to be able to find some of these pieces. Is this card? This card's probably really hard to find, right? Because it's like the awkwardest thing in your deck. I guess like X-Drake is really awkward to find because it's a 3-cost. Do we ever forego this? Opponent having a stage to rest? Well, yeah, you can, as Peter or as Pet Care is saying, you can also use it on your own stage if you want, because like Upper Yard is an on-play effect, so you don't use it any other time after you play it. So like this can be used on your stage, but also if your opponent has a stage, which there are some decks that really love their stage, you can just put that to the bottom. Feel like you want counter in here or a playable body that you drew. I think the whole idea of why this is so important is just to find Noland Kibi. It's like this is the best way to find Noland. Which one bottom decks? Oh yeah, Wiper can bottom deck. Wiper does bottom deck it. Oh, interesting. Huh. It is spooky. We will definitely talk about that today. Yeah, because, like, I feel like half of your game plan is to just get this combo off. Like, as many times as possible, and this just adds the consistency to it. So, like, is there ever a reason, chat? Since we added Bram, can we ever like go back on one flame split and add a 4th copy of us? Does that work, chat? Since we added the Bram in, just like make one more kind of consistency piece? Or do you guys think 3 is fine? Let me know, chatteroonies. Yo, what up, Appa? How are you today? What's good? Chat, I hope everybody's having a good day today. Thank you all for coming in. Appreciate it. Hanging out. Reminder, streams now, I know I said in Discord that streams are going to be Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be streaming on Wednesdays. Just simply because as of right now, I don't have a day that I can go to locals. And Wednesday is kind of like the easiest day for me to go to locals. And I want to go to locals once a week. So, and plus, for anyone who does not know, I'm getting coaching from Adam Cisneros on Nami right now. And Wednesday's just like a really good day to do it. So, yo, what up, Carlos? How are you? You can drop Flame Split for another Earth won't lose. I guess we could. Like, we could go like one here to hit 3 and then go here. No, doesn't Bram also remove all stages? Oh no, because this is a 1-cost stage. I think that honestly, like, Bram is just as good as Wiper, right? Well, actually, they both do 1-cost stages. Yeah. They're both equally good. I think that Bram is just I honestly think that Bram just might be better because he costs 3, right? He costs 3. It's an activate main, so useful against Blackbeard, as you were saying, right? But it's just way more Dawn efficient. But 7,000 power character is, like, hard to argue, right? Yo, I know, Miko. Yo, what up, Raltery? Hey, I got some sick decks for you to play. Yo, what up, Kaiju? How are you, Kaiju Kraken? It's good to see you. But yeah, I think that this is a cook list, chat. This is a fine list. We have stirred the pot a little bit on this. Red Black Sabo. I'm gonna wait to spill the sauce on Red Black Sabo. I'm gonna wait. Oh, you know what? You're right. Calgara's leader effect does make Wiper only cost 1. That's true. Oh, maybe Wiper is always better. Yeah, maybe Wiper is always better. Never mind, chat. You're right. You're always right. Thank you, chat. I've literally never played a game of Calgara before. Yo, nice job getting top 100, Kaiju. That's pretty good. That's higher than I've ever finished. Next time, though. Next time, top 64. I believe. Sorry, chat. I just got a work text. Hold on. If you're going to be live for the... Oh. Let me talk to who... Hold on, chat. I have to answer this real quick. Let's see. It won't... There we go. Go to the buy singles. Is there a Bandai sealed product? Not sure where to buy. Yeah, I would say, Alfred, I mean, it depends on what region you're in, right? If you are in if you're in North America, TCG player is probably one of your best opportunities. If you're in like Europe, card market is another good one right there. And then if you're in like Australia, I can, if you send me like a DM in Discord, I can hook you up because I have a really good friend that lives in Australia and he plays Pokemon all the time. So, and he also plays One Piece, so I can have him help you. But yeah, definitely if you're buying singles like those, like TCG Player, if your NA is the #1 site, I would say. You could also do Troll and Toad if you want, but I prefer TCG Player. Yeah. Yeah, if you're in NA, then like tcgplayer.com is the way to go in my opinion. Yo, thank you for the help, Restricted Society. How are you doing today? Junior going to Mexico City Regionals. Nice. That's sick. I know, Caesar. Calgara is so cool. And it's like, it's had some of the best results in OP11 in terms of win rate of matches in flagships. It hasn't been the best deck, but hold on. Chat, I want to show you. Chat, has anybody bought these yet? Not sponsored, by the way. Has anybody seen or like looked out for these new Dragon Shield dual mats? I think they came out like yesterday. Or sometime this week. These are like new dual mat sleeves that are in collaboration with like a Japanese artist, Yumeko. Have you guys seen these? These are absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at these sleeves, chat. These are absolutely stunning. I love these sleeves, chat. This is a PSA that these sleeves are available. They're gorgeous. I don't even know if I should play with them, chat. I don't even know if I should play with them. They're so good. That's crazy. That's crazy. These are awesome. These are awesome. I just wanted to PSA because I bought them last night because I went to a card shop and I saw them last night, and I have been obsessed with the sleeves. And I've debated in my head like for the last 24 hours if I should use them or not. Yo, what up, Black Bear? OP12 Kuma. We're not going to talk about OP12 yet, but definitely the reveals for OP12 have been really interesting. I could double sleeve it. I do have a brand new box of outer sleeves that Ruben gave me, actually. I do not have a eShow list, unfortunately, today. Yamato decks, use the Bandai Yamato ones. The Bandai Yamato ones? Oh, the one where it's like the PRB alternate art? I think I have those. Those are sick. EB02 training with Adam. I am doing training with Adam, Kibi. I am. Not today, though. Not on stream today, but we've been doing a little bit of training. Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, these are clear outer sleeves that I would definitely, like, if I were going to play with these, I would definitely use clear outer sleeves on them. Any sort of, like, art sleeve or pretty sleeve. Any sort of art sleeve that I use, like in my Nami deck, chat. I put outer sleeves on all of my, like, really, really pretty sleeves. Because I want them to stay pretty. Forever. Yo, Choi, thanks for following over on Twitch. I hope you're having a great day. Yeah, these probably look really good on a Wano themed deck, right? A Wano themed deck. Did my freaking Twitch alert break again? This happens like every stream. That's crazy. Oh, I just threatened it, and now geometries follow. Geometry, thank you so much for following as well over on Twitch. So Adam feels really good on the green-purple Luffy matchup. And I'm only saying that because I've seen other people tweet about it today. I think it was Ronme over on Twitter. They tweeted that they're currently, as Nami, against green-purple Luffy. They're like 8-1 right now. On like ranked ladder. So I think it's probably a good matchup for Nami because, like, if you think about it in theory, green purple Luffy is a setup deck. It's a slower setup deck. So Nami thrives against decks like that. So in theory, Nami has a good matchup. And from what I've heard from everybody, everybody agrees with that statement that is practicing Nami at least. Yeah, I know. I know fifth string. And I'm a monster with my sleeves. So blue Nami. I'm not thinking too much about OP11. I mean I am, but I'm not in a sense because even though OP11 comes out in like a month now, I'm thinking about EB02 at this point in terms of playing competitively, you know. Implied, what's good? How are you, friend? All right, chat. Because I can talk all night and we've already spent an hour on stream, we are going to go in and we're going to record this video talking over these EB02 decks, chat. You guys are going to be, well, I don't want to promise this, but the chat will be on screen, so don't abuse that. The chat will be on screen, so feel free to say hi to YouTube as well. But yeah, like I mean, I'm up for. I mean, I won't share you like everything that Adam's given me, right? But in terms of general stuff and like talking about me playing the deck, I'll definitely share those things. For sure, because I'm kind of an open book. I just won't give you like the stuff that he sent me because then that would be like getting coaching from him, you know. Let's see. Okay. All right, I'm going to record a cringy YouTube intro, chat. I'm going to record some cringe. Well, it's not too much cringe, but even though EB02's upcoming set is a short format for us here out in the West, there are some really, really cool cards, if you didn't see from my set review video, that upgrade plenty of decks to become more viable within the meta, so you're not just playing the best decks like Rob Lucci, Blackbeard, Shanks, the same exact lists. You want to play... Oh, I accidentally like hit this table. You want to play something more fun, exciting. Chat and I have built together some deck lists. How do I want to say this? Could you guys help me build the Calgara list? I've put together some EB02 lists alongside chat for you guys in this video, so let me know what you're thinking about. These are all going to be decks that get benefits from EB02, not necessarily decks that thrive in EB02. But first, a word from our sponsor. Which, chat, you won't get a sponsor. Oh, wait, wrong screen. I need this one. Hi again, Morticia. You want to be a movie star? Oh, I forgot to save this. I can call this Calgara If I knew how to spell Calgara. All right. We're going to talk about Black Smoker first. No, Morticia, you still can't get on the desk. No, no, no. As much as you want to. What do you think of Teach in EB02 format? It's pretty good. It's pretty doggone good. I would still think you can play it. I think OP11 is very much like Sokka and RP Law, for sure. No, play OP11 leaders too. Get excited about OP11 leaders. There's some good ones. Katakuri is so cool. Yeah, pull rates are really bad for EB02, Caesar. The Lim versus Green Purple Luffy matchup. I think it's really interesting. I haven't tested it too much. But in theory, I find it to be probably okay for Lim, right? Because you ramp, right, as Lim. You're also a ramp deck. But the guys that you're playing out are also like 5,000, 6,000 power characters. So it's little Dawn investment to be able to swing into Green Purple Luffy. And you also have opportunities to KO, right? These Sanji puddings as they get on the field. Now, with the stage, that makes it a little bit harder, right? Because with the stage, you can't use Sakazuki to KO, but you swarm the field, you get aggressive, right? So I feel like in theory, it's a pretty fair matchup. I don't know who has advantage technically because Green Purple Luffy is a very, very good deck. It's debatably, I think personally it's the best deck in format, but oh, wait a minute. Didn't this get banned? Chad, Ice Age is banned, right? Wait, Chad, did Ice Age get banned? Ice Age is definitely banned. Right? Call me crazy. This is definitely banned. All right, chat. Before we go any further, we need to find a replacement. We need to find a replacement. I don't hate this card. I think this card is underrated. I feel like you probably go... You could go like Soap Sheep in there. You could go Tempest Kick. Finger or Shockwave's kind of cool. Yeah, Great Eruption and Ice Age, yeah. Thank you, chat. Thank you, thank you. I think probably it's more so like Tempest Kick. Do we just slap in 4 Tempest Kicks? Ooh, 2-cost Uta. Nice rage bait. Yeah. I'm just trying to get interactions with you guys, chat. Try to see if you're paying attention. Let's see. We probably don't need 9-cost Kaido. I like 9-cost Kaido. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. 5th string is like Patchwork, as Kevin saying, Patchwork is probably better just because like you get that minus off. I wonder if you ever go like 2 split here and then go like 2 of these. Go up on Hina as well. So maybe cut like Sengoku? Sengoku for Hina? The stage? What is the stage? Navy HQ's banned, right? What would you use? Wait, isn't this called Navy HQ? Didn't this get banned? No, Ennis Lobby got banned. This is not banned. What if we go... What if we go 2 or 3 Sengoku is ideal? I'll go down to 3. I feel like if we run the 8 cost Sabo, we have to take out Kaido. Right? Yeah, my bad, chat. Ennis Lobby got banned. Marineford is not. Boom. How do I feel about Manchury? I think Manchury is really, really cool, especially because we're a Rebecca build, right? Like grabbing Rebecca off of Manchury is really nice to be able to just like play down, grab a 2K or like play down like a Hina or something like that. Ten 2K should be fine. Yeah, how many 2Ks do we have? Oh, we have 13, so we can take away one, or not 13, 11. So we could take away a T-bone. Not enough trash for what? Manchury? Oh, because you do have to return 2. Yeah. No, we're not doing viewer games today. No viewer games today. But we'll do that sometime in the near future. I just got to get some things set before then. I like Kaido more than 8 cost Sabo, to be honest. I like 8 cost Sabo. How many pop effects do we actually have? We have 5. I guess we have a handful. What card am I thinking of? Putting in another Marineford? No, I wouldn't do a 4 cost Perona. Interesting idea, but I don't think I would. Soldier 2K? Oh, one-legged toy soldier? Ooh, actually one-legged toy soldier might be nice. One-legged toy soldier could be cool, but like you don't. Your hope is just finding it off of, like if it goes in the trash, it's gone forever, right? I have a weird time like playing like 2Ks that you can't find ever again. This has been in the kitchen, chat. We are on fire. This has been in the kitchen. I like one-legged toy soldier because that -3 is so good, right? If it dies in the game, it dies in real life. I don't know what that means. Mostly because I haven't caught up to the series. Maybe I don't need 6. No, I feel like I need this. Look at all these bricks that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have so many bricks. I have 15 bricks. 3 brand new, 2 soldier? You think so, Smash? I feel like I don't know. Like we have to find like the reason that this deck is viable is because of this card. Like we have to run 4 brand news, right, to find this. Oh, it's an SAO reference. I haven't seen that. But I do know the Union Arena set came out. Sure, yeah, you can send it to me, Carlos. Send it over like Twitter or Discord. Don't put it in chat, because then it like clogs up chat. Soap Sheep is CP, right? Gross. T-Bone, he's right here. I don't know if I played more than this, though. I mean, I like Patchwork. I feel like we don't need stage. Not really crime. I'm only like interested in Bleach, and I haven't been to a UA local in I don't know how long. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge. I know that reference. Yeah, I don't think I'd run Tempest Kick in the deck, unfortunately. I don't think I'd run Tempest Kick in the deck. Maybe I just like minus this. Because we have so many like, well, none of these, or like these two cards we can't pitch. We have like, 5. We have 5, 6, 7 cards that we can't pitch off of like this. Ditch the stage for Soldier? Yeah, like the idea is that, like, especially with Rebecca and Sengoku, is like we will constantly find this and this. We will get these back. Oh, thank you, Carlos. No, I'll go back to the video. I just forgot that Ice Age was banned. I was like, ooh, Ice Age, great card in Smoker. Well, yeah, it is. 5-cost Sabo as filter. Only because of the Shanks matchup. I feel like a lot of people are going to be on Shanks. What would we put in? What would we put in this card for, though? Where would this go? Because I don't know. I don't know if I don't know what I want to take out. Because, like, I like the Kaido. I'm a huge fan of Jack. I feel like I've seen some people be like, Jack is bad, Jack is bad. Well, fifth string, I think the idea is that they spend 7 Dawn to use Beckman, right? To get around it. Tenko's Kuzan, we ball. Tenko's Kuzan probably is not bad in this deck, right? It's probably not bad. Can former Navy be found off of Navy? Kuzan works for Sengoku and Brand-New, right? Tenko's Kuzan works for that? Or no? Borsalino? Well, I think Borsalino no, because it's a 4-cost. Like, we run Rebecca because Rebecca has that value of getting stuff back, right? And cycling and playing things out. But Borsalino just sits there. Cool card, but I think I'd rather have it in something like Sabo. No, then I don't know if I want to run it. If this can't be found off Brand-New or be used on Sengoku, I don't know if I want to run it. Because of bracket rules. Oh, so because it's bracket, it has to be Navy. admirals work under Sengoku. Oh, that's the OP11 Kuzan. All right, Chad, how do we feel about this list? Do we feel like this is cooking? I feel like this is cooking. Selling constructed decks for less than the individual top cards in the respected decks are selling it for a single. Should you buy them? I mean, if you think it's a good deal, then sure. I mean, if you're like, so the purple Luffy deck, for example, if you need Usohachi, you need Luffy Taro, you need the Zoro Juro, you need the Sangoros, right? And like you need all of them. Let's just say you need the amount that comes in the starter deck. And if you add all those together, it is more money than the starter deck that you're finding. Buy the starter deck. Because it technically saves you money then at that point. Yeah, like if I ran 10 cost Kuzan, I got to drop these two guys. I think. If I ran 10 cost Kuzan, I gotta drop those. All right, chat. This is the deck. This is the deck. I don't want to start with this deck, though. Because I feel like this deck is cooking. Let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. You guys like Chopper, right? You guys like Chopper. Oh, yeah, and plus you get the Ivankoffs in that. If it's the ST12, you also get the Ivankoffs in that deck. Which are, like, if all you need is the Mihawks, and the two Mihawks as singles are more than one of the starter decks, then definitely get it. Even if it gets a reprint, don't worry about it, because it'll be a long time before it gets a reprint. Like, I'm not overly worried right now on PRBO2 because PRBO2 is so far away, right? Especially from the States. Choppa. All right, chat. We're going to start with Chopper. All right, chat. Back to YouTuber mode, right? The first deck we're going to be talking about is Tony Chopper, right? This Animal Drum Kingdom Straw Hat crew does gain more viability as time goes on and we get to 11, but if you want to get a head start on this guy, he does get a couple great pieces in this format in the Chopper Man, right? Being able to play out another one of those 3-cost or lower characters, which are stuff like the Super Spot Spill, Super Anemone, the Hiking Bear, this Chopper with a great on-play effect, no, you can't play Sanji, this Chopper, or this Chopper, or this Chopper. There's a lot of great options to be able to swarm the board as you love doing, and there's so many good choppers in this game, especially 3-cost choppers that really bring some viability onto this leader effect. You've also got a great search option in the Nami, right? The Nami is incredible because you get to find not only all the Tony choppers because they're all Straw Hat Crew typing, but also important cards like the Sanji right here, some different defensive stuff like Guard Point and Shut Up and Come With Us. Some removal type things, right? If you fight like an 8-cost kid deck, the 8-cost kid deck is really nice to be able to handle decks like this. So Mole Gun works. And then a personal tech choice of mine, the Gum Gum Giant Pistol. I wanted to include one of these in this deck. It is searchable off of the Nami, which is really, really nice. Oh, also this Nami as well. Having 2 searches in the deck goes really, really nicely. But with a lot of your Tony Choppers in a sense of being in the 4,000 to 6,000 power range, you might need a little bit more to be able to go for games. So it's really, really nice if you're in a situation where like you've got this guy on the field who's constantly restanding, right? Does not get KO'd, especially if you're not facing like a black deck. And make him, for 3 Dawn, a 10,000 power swing. The Tony Chopper deck is really, really fun and also relatively a cheap deck to build overall. And if you've got all these pieces, well, actually, no, it's not necessarily super cheap because of this guy right here. But if you have all the pieces and you just need EB02 stuff, you don't need too much. You just need 7 cards in total. And honestly, you can get away with not having this. So you really only need 6. This deck is so cool. Yo, what up, Space Dragon? How are you, friend? Strains! Thank you also for following over on Twitch. What's good? What's good? Yeah, look at all these chumps. Look at all these chum blockers. Look at all these chums. They're so chummy. They're my friends. Now we'll talk about Enel. This Enel list is really interesting. This is basically an OP11 Enel list, but I replaced Zeus with Thunderbolts. And there was another card that I replaced and put Nami's in. But this list is interesting. Now, Enel, even though it got the chopping block with the Rygo ban, might still have some viability, especially in EB02. With the new additions of 5 costs or more within the deck of the 10 cost Enel, which is the premier card for this deck, right? Being able on a 10 Dawn turn to slam this guy down, get 12,000 power rush, and also gain a life. Works really, really well alongside your leader effect, but also getting a really good blocker, in my opinion, in the Sanji, right? Sanji being a great card for a deck that always hovers 2 life or less, it seems. To be able to cycle your hand, try to find some key pieces that you need, while not losing out on any cards in your game plan, right? It's a net 0 kind of card. I will say that this deck is a little bit nabbed from an OP11 list that I saw and really enjoyed. The only difference really is the introduction of Thunderbolt, right? We know that in OP11 Zeus is coming, which is a great, great, great card for this deck. And the combination of Thunderbolt and Nami are kind of like good secondary options if you're in the waiting room to get that card. You've also got many of the typical Enel things in the You're the One That Should Disappear, right? A great final trigger for the deck. A couple copies of the Luffy to be able to draw cards as well as KO a character on field. Frankie, incredible 2K. Shirahoshi, a really great blocker. Beige, which, I mean, you're a yellow deck, you might as well play Beige. Kikunojo or Okiku being in this deck is something that I personally really enjoy. Right, especially with the introduction of green-purple Luffy. There's another 4-life leader being entered into the format that almost automatically turns on Okiku's effect, right, of that on KO effect. It's a sticky body on the field, specifically in that matchup. And especially since Green Purple Luffy is going to constantly be a 6,000 power leader, you don't have to invest any Dawn for this Okiku or Kikunojo to swing. Enel's definitely one of the sleepers of the format in my opinion, and one of those skill check decks that if you don't know how to play against it, they're going to run you over. So maybe be wary about that if you had some Enel friends playing in OP05 when this released. Yo, what up, Caloveras? How are you? Thank you so much for joining and following. Appreciate it. I'm a big fan of you. Let's see. I will mention this deck just a little, chat. Whoops. Now, I won't spend too much time talking about green purple Luffy, but obviously the deck that gets introduced in this set utilizes the most cards from EB02. If you want a breakdown of a lot of green purple Luffy lists, I've got a video on my channel talking about, I think it's like 10 different green purple Luffy lists that we saw at the beginning of this format. And this deck definitely has a couple different tech options, but I wanted to showcase some of the cards that I really, really enjoy in these lists, including Electrical Luna. Fans of the channel may know that I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. This card just wins games. Right? Being able to not only play one and buy a turn, but two in a row give you so much value. Zoro Juro is a card that, as we've progressed later in the formats, in the Eastern meta, more and more people have been including Zoro Juro in their lists, and I've really enjoyed it, right? As a 4-life leader, there's definitely a possibility that you can quickly go down to 3 life in the early turn, so Zoro Juro is going to be able to help you ramp and make your leader effect not so punishing. Brook is kind of the final card that I'll talk about with this leader. I've seen this more and more as of late, and I really like this card, right? Being able to minus 2,000 power on 2 different characters is so good in so many situations, as well as with that opportunity of returning 1 or more Dawn into your deck, can also activate off of Sanji and Pudding to bring some Dawn back. It's a really interesting card, especially if you're battling some Swarm decks or maybe want to battle some different bigger bodies that maybe your 7,000 power range characters can't really go over. So it's a neat little tech option that's very searchable off of the Nami or even the When You're at Sea You Fight Pirates event. Yo, what up, Tegan? How are you, friend? What's good? Simo and Ham, thank you so much for following as well over on Twitch. Capo, hopefully I pronounced that right. Thank you so much also for following just now. But yo, what's up, A-Name? I have not gone over blue-green Zoro Sanji yet. I have not. I have not done that yet. We've just started. We stalled for a little bit because I realized that one of my decks had Ice Age in it. So we took a little bit to cook up the list without Ice Age. Because when I was doing my prep before the stream, I completely forgot that Ice Age was banned. So, we'll talk about Black Smoker, by the way. This list is cooking. Oh, my eye. You know, like, itch my eye real quick. Chat, I hope you're enjoying the stream. I really like Reijun, EB02, and OP11 Marcelo. I think it's 100% playable for regionals because I think it has pretty decent matchups against those 2 decks. There's some really, really good lists out there. I think, who is it? Jellybean OP on Twitter. They've been, I think they've won multiple flagships with Reiju now. I think they just posted their, like, 2nd flagship win with Reiju the other day. Daniel, this is the OPTCG simulator. This is the fan-made OPTCG simulator. It's not really a website. It's how you like. Hold on, It's how you like play games against other people, right? And play like ranked ladder and stuff. If you need a link to it, you can join our Discord. We have a section in the Discord and a post about how to download OPTCG Sim. So either myself or somebody can direct you to it. It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything for it. It's a sandbox simulator, so it has access to every single card. And if you want to get ahead on the format, there's already like OP11 and OP12 cards in the simulator. If you want to get ahead. But yeah, Daniel, if you want, if you're either on Twitch, you can go to the Twitch chat and grab that from Domo. But wait, no! Did our deck list not save, chat? Oh, no. No. Shoot. Chat, I don't think our deck list saved. Oh, no, chat. We never hit save. We never hit save. What did we do? We did this. We did this. We did this. We did this, right? Did we do anything else besides this, chat? I did not save, no. Thank you, Black Bear. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it's him, Marcelo. Oh yeah, we had two Utas in here. Oh yeah. I only have 49 cards. That makes sense. Check the VOD. Let me pull up Twitch real quick. I think this is pretty close to what we had. Stream summary? Where video producer. I'm pretty sure like this is where we were at. Let's see. Oops. Too far and checking the VOD. Yeah, this is where we were at. This right here is what we had, chat. Phew! Almost a disaster. Almost a disaster. Okay, save. Before we forget. Now, Chet and I have cooked up a list without Ice Age or Gecko for Black Smoker, and this is kind of what we've come up with, right? Based on the tendencies that we've seen. Sengoku is a really nice card, and debatably out of the black decks, it's best provided in Smoker. Being able to play a Black Navy type character with an on-play effect that can really help out your leader effect, like Kuzan in a future turn, or immediately like Hina, provide a ton of value for this deck that you really, really love. There's some other options in here, not necessarily EB02, that we really, really like, including the Uta, which has trended upwards a lot if you haven't noticed in the last couple months in the One Piece trading card game. Just a really, really good card in general with that activate main and can't be KO'd by leaders. So the early game is really, really good for removal. One-Legged Toy Soldier is a great activate main to get that -3 if you need it. Patchwork, really, really nice, and what a lot of people have gravitated to because of Ice Age's ban. And personally, I like a one of Kaido. I feel like it works out in a lot of matchups, and plus, a Patchwork and Kaido 10 Dawn turn gets rid of anything 10 cost or lower in the format. I would definitely work on this list a little bit more. I know Smoker in the recent Chinos Cup, or one of the recent ones, had, I think it was the second most populous leader in the tournament out of like 33 players, I think it was. But none of them made top 4, so you got to really try this. And definitely, as Smash is saying in the chat, you could also maybe try out this Hina as well. This Hina is a nice counter to other black decks, right? And being able to give 1 Dawn to your leader could be valuable in a sense. I definitely like this card in a couple situations, especially when you have this 7-cost Sengoku, right? Being another 4-cost. I just feel like this Hina... I feel like the Hina doesn't give enough value, right? Like, if I'm going to choose whether to play, like, a 4-cost on the turn, I'm choosing either Rebecca or Kuzan. I'm, like, never choosing Hina, you know? I think it's really cool, and I think it's worth testing, but I don't know. I really like that you have Sengoku now alongside your Rebecca to recur Kobe, if you want. Kobe's, like, a cool one-of. Save. Once again. Dang, chat, I love this deck. I love this deck so much. I want this deck to be good so bad. I want this deck to be good so bad, chat. Now, Iceberg is generally my cope deck, right? This is the deck that got a little bit of EB02, and I'm like, put it in, it's a viable deck now. Being able to look at the top 7 cards in this deck for a stage that is so good in Galila Company is huge for this archetype, right? And its consistency. Especially since this is a 3-cost stage, right? And not a 1-cost stage that we typically see a lot of different people play with in other decks, right? I'm talking like Blackbeard, I'm talking like Green Purple Luffy. Being able to cheat that out and play it for free is huge in a lot of situations. And with a leader effect that can spam out incredible characters such as the Khalifa, right? Spam out the Bleno. Or wait. No, it can't spam out Bleno. Khalifa, right? Or maybe even this Khalifa if you need to filter your hand a bit. Tilestone, Pauly, Rob Lucci. There's great options in here as well as other general good cards in purple like Reiju, right? Being able to draw cards. As well as Eustace Captain Kid, which can recur your Dawn that you put away through like leader effect or something. Stussy might be better than Kaido Miko. No, because Stussy is like KO character, right? Yeah, I think maybe Kaido just might be a little bit better just because I want to get rid of Burgess. I'll get to Purple Black Luffy in a sec, Penguin. I haven't gotten there yet. This deck probably needs a little bit more cooking than Black Smoker does, but it's one of my favorite decks to play, one of my all-time favorite leaders within the game. And we've played it a little bit on stream, especially when EB02 first came out in the East and got programmed into the OPTCG simulator, and you could definitely win some games with this deck. Yeah, I think one of the biggest reasonings why I have the Kaido in there is literally just for Blackbeard. Yo, what up, dude? How are you? Stussy is good if you're not facing like a Blackbeard. Yeah, Stussy's really good against like Shanks. But I feel like against Shanks, well, do you ever try? I mean, the Patchwork and Kaido are one-ofs, right? So how often can you really get that combo off? I think I think I'd just rather have Kaido to be able to trash something. Like, especially in the Blackbeard matchup. Because you can get rid of Burgess, but then also the on play effect, like you can go around that. Because I think Blackbeard's still going to be like really, really good. Oh yeah, anything that says double attack smash is like really good into Blackbeard, I feel like. Guys, this is my like ultra cope deck. This is my I need this deck to be good because I love this deck. It's my ultra cope deck. Yo, what up, D-Moon? How are you, friend? What's good? Dova! What's up, Dova? Thank you so much for following over on Twitch. Chat, I hope you're all having a good day. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out. So Calgara is one of the decks that gain a lot of boosts and one of the only decks that really utilize the new 2-cost event searches. Especially since your main engine on this deck is not part of your archetype in terms of the Sky Island package, Mont Black Norland is so nice to be able to find off of the Us event, right? Just for 2 Dawn, you can try to make sure that you find this guy that is not searchable otherwise, especially when you cycle through your deck with stuff like Upper Yard, the Wiper, also this Wiper, Ohm Holly combo. This deck does have some legs to it, and it's a fan favorite for many. You also can choose whether or not you want to put the Enel in. I know that the Enel in this deck is not as good as the Enel in the Enel deck. I don't know if that made sense. But this being a searchable boss monster that can help you regain life might just be a piece worth putting into this deck. Hey, it's all good, Dova. Yeah. That's a lot of people. Because I've definitely been making videos longer than I've been streaming since I've been making those videos. The starter decks are going to be really interesting, D-Moon. I bet we start getting reveals for the starter decks like the week after EB02 releases in the West. You've got some other options in here in terms of the Sky Island Shandora Warriors in the Bram and Rocky, right? The Rocky being a constant blocker on the field, a nice chum blocker of the deck. And then Bram is just really, really good because just like Wiper, it can go ahead and bottom deck any of the 1-cost stages that are running around in the format. Think Full of Lead, right, in Blackbeard. Think Germa Kingdom in Reiju. The Going Merry in Green Purple Luffy. I definitely think this card is one to watch out for and one to consider when you're talking about building a Calgara deck, especially because it's so searchable, and you get to rest one of your opponent's 4 costs. So any chum blocker in format, you can go ahead and do that, and at worst case scenario, it's either a 1K counter or it can help you bottom deck your own Upper Yard to be able to find it again, play it out on the field, and do another search. Calgara is super interesting and one that I really want to see more of and more people put in time to once EB02 fully comes out. And hope to see it in these store treasure cups have a little bit of success. Oh yeah, Kurita Coliseum. And Kurita Coliseum as well. Like, this can bottom deck a Kurita Coliseum against Usopp. Good point, Fifth String. I forgot about that. There was like 4 stages that I was thinking of, and I can only think of 3. Ha, ha, ha. All right, Chad, this deck. Now, Purple Black Luffy is on this list as the deck that debatably plays the most secret rares out of any deck in the format in the Monkey D. Luffy, right, in the EB02 secret rare, and also the OP05 Gain Another Turn secret rare. Also playing the Mr. Tubon Clay. Although I maybe don't recommend spending $50+ per copy at this point, you don't really have a replacement for Mr. Tubon Clay until OP11 comes out with that Gear 2 event. So I think it's kind of a mainstay in this deck for now. The whole idea of being able to reutilize Dawn and re-ramp Dawn for your different effects, like Zoro, the Luffy secret rare, even this one too, the Black Maria, the Sanji, Gum Gum Light, or wait, no, this is only your turn. Never mind, I can't say that. Does Frankie do that? And Frankie really help you get a lot of extra effects in this game and be able to reutilize Dawn. Yeah, this Luffy is going to be crazy expensive. This Luffy is going to be crazy expensive. I thankfully already have my playset of Bon Clays. I do not have a playset of this card. Yeah, I mean, you could do the Basil Hawkins, but the Basil Hawkins, in my opinion, like Bon Clay is so good because, like, on a 4-Dawn turn, you can ramp 1 as active and then attach it to leader and swing 6, right? Whereas Basil Hawkins ramps a Dawn and then, yeah, you're just like swinging 5. Yeah, this is definitely the budget route if you don't have Bon Clays, but it's I've said this to a ton of people before, like there's truly no replacement for this card. I did, Dova. Yeah. Also, thank you for following. But I did see the oh, I think I already said that, but you know what? You get a second thank you. I did see that it's 4 secret rares per case. Yeah. I saw that the pull rates were different. That's why I think my timing of the last video that we did, the budget decks, was really, really good. Because it because the news came out about the EB02 pull rates. Yeah, this is going to be, I think this is definitely going to be the most expensive minimum rarity card in the set, for sure. Without a doubt. Then Sanji and Pudding will be a close second. Because I think there's, don't quote me on this, but I think I also saw, someone fact check me on this. I think I saw that there's also 1 less SR per box. Can anybody confirm that? I saw that somewhere and I just kind of trust it. But I'm like pretty sure that's true based on the stats that I saw. but especially with the leader effect that gives you +1 in cost to your characters, not only does it give you an extra effect like Sanji, one of the best synergies within this archetype, it also allows you to have a really nice extra layer of defense in against black decks, right? Rob Lucci and Blackbeard being so good in the format can help put some of these cards an extra level higher. Right? Having like a 5-cost Frankie on the field makes it so a 4-cost black hole can't just get rid of this card entirely for free, basically. The thing that I say about this Bagunero is, first of all, I hope you're having a good day. Welcome on in. This Luffy is a must in Green Purple Luffy, and Green Purple Luffy is the best deck in format. So I think it's gonna be pretty expensive, right? Even though it's more niche than something like Bon Clay, right? Bon Clay is in every single purple deck, it seems like. Nope, you're still not allowed on the table, Missy. Still not allowed on the table. Thank you. He is needed in the best deck in format, and in OP11 it's the second best deck in format, right? So I think that this guy's just going to be expensive because of how needed he is. I know everybody's always looking at getting back into red-green law, right? And especially with another searcher to help cycle your deck. With the addition of Starter Deck 21 as of late, Nami actually provides a good amount of value for your deck to be able to get into your Shambles game plan. Especially as we approach formats where aggressive decks thrive more, Trafalgar Law has an opportunity to get a little bit more in the limelight once again. Definitely not as much as it did in its heyday in the OP01 to OP04 days, but certainly a little bit closer. You've got plenty of great options in this deck and great cards like the Cavendish here. The Rush Zoro, always been good. As well as great options like Trafalgar Law in here, both the Starter Deck 1 and the OP01. And even maybe a couple copies of the OP10 Sanji. It's definitely a cool list that might need a little bit of tweaking here or there. Like, I don't know if these, well, all of these are technically searchable in some sense or another, right? You've got two play sets of the Nami to find this guy. You've got Jewelry Bonnie to find this Bonnie. And these guys can also be found off of the Namis. It's an interesting deck, especially if you already had your playset of Cavendishes, which, if you didn't listen to my Market Watch many, many, many moons ago, you would already have these. But I know, especially at the beginning of formats, there's always a couple people that try red-green law once again. And you know what? Now's the time to get back into it. This deck, chat, is this the most coped deck and leader in the game? Are there any other leaders that have more copers than red-green law? Give me your honest answers. I think that this leader is the most coped leader in the game. I'll say it. Law leaves me in shambles. Yeah, Nami's fun. Nami's not Cope. It won Pasadena like less than a month ago. Definitely not Cope. What's up, Hunter? I forgot to change my Twitch notification subscription or subscription? Description. Rosie time, chat. As a Bonnie main, you vote her? No way! Bonnie's still like a good deck. Like, Bonnie is still viable. It's not a top deck, but it's still viable. Right? Now, Rosinante, Kylakai all... back it up. Now, Kylakai already leaked the sauce on the Rosinante, and we've tried it a little bit on stream, and you definitely need this EB02 card that came in the set for this leader to really function at all. This guy being able to play a 2-cost, there's a lot of great 2-costs within this deck, including Sugar, Rosinante, and Hammond. Also, wait, where's the Vanderdecken? Hold on, Chan. Wait. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Chat, pause. Pause, champ. Where's the Vanderdecken? Where's Vanderdecken? Did I net deck this deck wrong? Where is my favorite video on his channel? There's no Vanderdecken in this list. Oh, well, first of all, there's only 3 overheats. There's only 1 Hotshon. That's where it is. Dang it, chat. I almost did this without Vanderdecken. What the heck? That's crazy, chat. How come nobody called me out on that? Come on, chat. Wake up. Just kidding. I'm not actually that mean. Okay. Now we have to start over on Rosinante at least. Now, even though Kylakai leaked out the Rosinante sauce here in the format, we've tried it out on the channel, and you definitely need this card that came out in EB02, this Don Quixote Rosinante 2-cost. Being able to cheat out so many good 2-costs in this deck, including the other green Rosinante, Sugar. Is it exactly 2 costs? 2 costs or less rested. A searcher option like Cammy, Hammond, and most importantly, Vanderdecken gives you a lot of opportunity within the deck to be able to really frustrate your opponent in their game plan. Okay, they up the cost with the Straw Hat Going Merry. Okay, they up the cost, or what? Okay, they up the cost with the Going Merry stage event and Green Purple Luffy to make their Sanji putting a 7 cost. Does not matter. You'll go ahead, play Vanderdecken. To come in as rested? Yeah. They play literally anything on the field, we'll rest it with Sugar. And then we'll blow it up. There's so many interesting cards within this deck, and this deck is so fun to watch. Highly encourage you to watch this video if you haven't already. I feel like I've said that like 30 times, but it's one of my favorites. This is also a relatively cheap deck, especially if you opened up a little bit of OP05 PRB and have a couple copies of the Rosinante. This deck is so funny. This deck is so funny, chat. Oh yeah, you can also play this Zhao. I don't really recommend it, but because you don't get anything off of it. I'm not really going over Reiju, Don Tony, in this, mostly because if you look at the Reiju cards, yes, you can talk about this event, but I really don't feel like you need the event in Reiju. I just don't. I don't know if I would slot it in as of yet. And the cards that really boost it up in the future are the OP11 cards, right? This Reiju included, I think Yonji's also included. You get a nice 2K in the Niji. This blocker Ichiji is really, really good. So I think like Reiju, I would definitely talk about it in OP11, but I don't think I really talk about it in EB02 because I'm not convinced that you would put this in the deck, you know? Yeah, like I'm not going to lie, this card is good. The only reason that I would say that you would put this card in is if you were playing the package that had like Niji in it, Niji and Yonji. But personally, I think the best way to play Reiju right now is the Foxy Pirates version, and that has so much search in it. Like, I think you're fine. And I think you kind of cycle your guys enough. But like, yeah, I think that this is a better opportunity when like literally your whole deck is, I think when like your whole deck is, you know, like you're playing these guys again, you're playing these guys again. Because you have to discard a Germa 66 type. And so like in the Foxy package, half of your deck doesn't work on this type, right? So I think you wait until like your full package is like when you kind of get rid of like a lot of the Foxy Pirate stuff in that deck. That's just my opinion though. I mean honestly through EB02 I would probably play Reiju the same as I'm playing now. Just maybe like put in a Judge. Cuz I kind of like Judge, honestly. But definitely in 11, we'll talk about Reiju. 100%. 110%. Let's see. Now, Vega Punk is honestly the secret sauce, as some people are alluding to. I'm talking about all you in Europe and some of my locals. You know who you are. Vega Punk's biggest addition was this 5-cost blocker SR, right? Being able to do some searching and play out one of your scientist characters, which include another searcher, Edison, which is a great on-play filter, Shaka, an insane blocker, one of the better cards of this deck, I feel like, Pythagoras, potentially summoning another card. This provides a lot of opportunities as well as getting a really nice blocker on the field that gives you a lot of flex. Oh, I almost forgot Atlas. You can play this Atlas. And remember, read the card. It still has, even though it doesn't have Raigo anymore, it still has great removal opportunities in the Luffy and Nami. as well as aggressive tempos in the Ace. Especially since EB02 Vega Punk has a trigger on it, I really like Dareshi still in this deck because of the high volume of triggers that you can really find. The only thing that you really can't find in this is the Yamato and also the Ace. Which, honestly, with the draw of the Luffy, Nami, and Edison, you might be able to find one of these two anyways. A lot of times I see in different game plans or deck lists with Vega Punk, you really only need one of these. There's not really a lot of times where you're like, oh my gosh, I need two aces within the game, or like I need both of my Yamatos. Vega Punk is definitely in a very interesting position, right? Nami being able to KO Sanji puddings that maybe don't have the stage boosted on them. Luffy being able to remove stuff like Zoro Juro, the Robin, Frankie, the other Zoro Juro. Both of them, both the starter deck and the OP05 one. As well as many of the other typical targets that you think of prior to EB02's release. This is honestly a pretty cheap deck, I think, overall. I really don't think any of this stuff is super expensive. Maybe like the Ace is the most expensive just because it's limited to the starter deck. But if you're looking for a funky, wacky, cheap deck to play, Vega Punk's got you covered for sure. I did go over Iceberg, Alejandro. I did. You'll have to watch the YouTube video when it comes out. Or you could just screenshot it right here. You could do that too. But definitely watch the YouTube video as well. But we went over it. This is also like kind of an older list that I played when EB02 first came out. So I would definitely want to work more on this list because I think this list is so funny. Of course, Alejandro. I hope you're having a good day. Now, this list of Zoro that I saw is wacky, and there's some excellent, excellent stuff within this. This is more focused on a Drum Kingdom kind of package with the Kurumarimo and Chess. I don't know if I said this guy's name right. Kurumarimo and Chess. I can definitely pronounce Chess correctly. Being able to have good synergies alongside each other and easily searchable in the Dr. Kureha. Give a nice balance to this zoo archetype that gets more and more popular as we get closer and closer to OP11. Especially with this Tony Chopper, right? Being able to play this guy down on curve, find this EB02 Tony Chopper to play him down, and then give a Straw Hat Leader Dawn to power up your leader effect. Can give you a lot of great opportunities within this deck for some flexibility, right? You can play out all of your Dawn and then go in with this Chopper on that on play to be able to use your leader effect and swing high with these characters. Be super annoying. I haven't seen too many people really walk around with this version, right? As Gallifrey is saying, by the way, hello, Gallifrey. This is definitely the spice of the Zoro deck, right? You do get this EB02 chopper, which is really, really cool, but the spice is laid out in here, these OP08 characters. I really feel like it's definitely worth trying. This package is so cool. Those guys are sick. And finally, the last one I've got on this list is Zoro Sanji. I know Zoro Sanji recently made some noise in OP11, winning a flagship, and this list is somewhat inspired by that. But I think there's some really great things about the deck list that you can take right now in EB02 and have a lot of fun with. The Nami is a huge boost in the deck, right? Being a green Straw Hat Crew Searcher and a Straw Hat Engine can find you so many different pieces. Can find you this Zoro, Usopp, Brook, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. This Usopp right here, this Usopp, the Brook, Zoro, and also Gum Gum Giant Pistol. Especially with the Dracula Mihawk, right, being able to play a slash character, you have plenty of different slash opportunities within the deck to be able to go Dracula Mihawk on play, Brook on play, the Usopp or the Brook or the Zoro. Which, by the way, that combo, Mihawk, Brook, and Zoro, is already 3 characters on the field to be able to have this Zoro gain 2,000 power in the next turn when it attacks. With the Usopp that you also gain in EB02, you've got some opportunities to be able to play out another vanilla character like another Usopp or the Zoro. Great opportunities in the film package. I think these are probably the best options of the 6 that you can choose, because there's definitely other like 3-5 vanillas or 4-6 vanillas that you can have, but they run alongside Brook in a sense and the Monkey D. Luffy. So I think they're probably the best options. And also Vivi, right? Vivi, I talked about in my set review, was very underwhelming in terms of its popularity index since it came out, and Zoro and Sanji are the best opportunity, or one of the best opportunities, especially right now in EB02, that can utilize this card. Right, especially when you're playing multiple characters from hand from either the Dracula Mihawk or Brook, your hand can get kind of small and need to be refilled, so Vivi kind of fits that bill. Especially because Dracula Mihawk, fun fact, a lot of you may not know this, can actually play out Vivi with its effect, right? Vivi being a slash type character. I would have thought she was like Wisdom, to be honest. Being able on the Dracula Mihawk and Vivi combo to be able to refill your hand and net 0 at the 3 dawn turn of the game can provide a lot of strengths with being able to continuously spit out these aggressive characters later in the game and survive a little bit longer than you would before EB02's release. I really hope some people continue messing around with this Zoro Sanji. I think it's a really neat deck. And outside of the fact that you are going to have to buy some Kayas and a couple cards from the new set, if you already have starter deck 12 in the Dracul Mihawk, it's probably not overly expensive to play. Yeah. All right. So that's all the lists that I've got that get enhanced from EB02. I know that there's more out there, and let me know in the comments below or in the chat right now if you're in chat watching this live, which decks you're most excited for in the upcoming EB02 meta. We'll have plenty of EB02 content in the future, so thank you again for watching in this video, and hope to see you in the next one. All right, Chad, that is done with the YouTube. Done with the YouTube. And I've got a cat that wants to come up on stream again. Hello, Morticia. How many times are you going to come up? How many times? How many, chat? There we go. Just closing things up real quick. Chat, I hope everybody's having a good day. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out, vibing. Let's see. Now, chat. Oh, yeah, head scratchies. Head scratchies. Head scratchies. You're sticking with Bonnie? I think that's a safe pick in EB02, to be honest. I think that's a safe pick. Oh, yeah, we love the head pats here. We love the head pats. What about the chin? What about the chin? I'm going to be playing Nami because I feel like Nami has a favorable matchup into green-purple. As well as maybe playing a little bit of Iceberg for the memes. I'll play a little bit of Iceberg for the memes. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Hello? Yeah, making sure the mic smells like you, Morticia. All right. Let's see. Still coping with green, purple Dofi? Hey, go for it. I love cope decks right now. Nope. You're still... Thank you. Immediately off. All right. I don't think... Yeah, I'm trying to find... Because I think I'll record 1 or 2 commentaries. But I don't know which ones I want to record. I'm trying to think of what some of the matchups are. This was the finals. I want to play Rosinante so bad. I want to play it so bad. All right, let's do this. Let's do this Shanks versus Dofi. Because I also kind of want to get like a warm-up in for commentary, right? Whoops. There he goes. I want to get like a warm-up for commentary. And I haven't done it in a hot second. So this will be a great opportunity for me to get into it in a sense. Let me just adjust this. There we go. All right, so Dofi won the die roll. Purple Black Luffy Cope. It's not Cope. Deck is real. Deck is real, chatter. Deck is real, Fabian. Bonnie treated you well in 10, not jumping off when I gain a good matchup into green purple Luffy. Oh, you think it's a good matchup? I mean, I don't know. I'm so unknowledgeable in Bonnie, I feel like. Let's see. Okay. Let me start recording again. And we'll go in with this game. We're going to try to do it without like looking up cards and stuff like that, chat. We're going to try it on here. And in theory, this should be fine. So Shanks versus Dofi right now. If you are looking to continue playing these meta decks and not jump on the green-purple Luffy train, this is a matchup you're probably going to want to be into, right? We have seen Blue Doflamingo survive the ban list of Jinbei and still be what is considered a top 5 deck in the format, and Shanks, being arguably one of the best decks that you can play as well, is sitting in a decent position heading into EB02. Within the meta. Oh my gosh, I'm like, I have one box, chat. I have one box pre-ordered, and I might get another one depending on the price, and I'm debating on if I want to open them or not. Because I want Sanjis and Puddings as well, and the Secret Rare Luffy, and I know that I'm not paying for them. Yeah, that's why fifth string the Red Green Smoker was so good. The thing is, Penguin Dragon, and I've thought about this, is like, it's going to be so long until we see PRBO2, right? And it's not guaranteed. We don't know if it's coming in EBO2 because, like, they said that there's going to be more unique cards in EB or in PRBO2. And so is EBO1 going to be included in there? Like, we have no idea. Like, it's definitely like one of the best cards to exist, but 4-cost Sabo wasn't included in PRBO1, and that was one of the best black cards, right? That was running dominant before like Blackbeard came around. So I don't know. I mean, we just have to see the set list, but like honestly, it's like you either buy it at 55 now, right? And you just bite the bullet if it gets reprinted and it goes really cheap. Or if it doesn't get reprinted, because it might not, I don't know. If it doesn't get reprinted, that thing's going to shoot up like crazy, right? So it's like, what do you value more in a sense? It's like, what do you value more, you know? I mean, thankfully, like, Bon Clay isn't needed in every deck. Like, you don't really need it in Purple Luffy. There's definitely lists that love it, and it's definitely really, really good, but you don't need it. And, like, to play other purple decks, like Green Purple Luffy or Reiju or something, like, you don't need it. Blue Purple Luffy, though, you're definitely going to need it. So I don't know. It's whether or not you want to do it now. All right, let's get into this. So both players keeping their hands. Doflamingo winning the coin flip on this. So we'll see whether they chose first or second in this game. Going to be going off and choosing that first route. Going to be really nice to play that Buggy. Buggy's going to be nice to reorder that top 3. See if there's anything that he can utilize off leader effect, or maybe find a Marshall D Teach if he doesn't already have one in hand. Going to be a really good card. in some of these matchups. The Shanks leaving 2 up could potentially be either a Red Hawk or maybe nothing that he needed, but with the Doflamingo 7,000 power leader effect is going to go ahead and get the body off the field. So if there is a Red Hawk, could be a very great time to be able to use that, but no, just going to be taking that life, going to be a bad manners kick course, no Red Hawk in the hand, going to be really good information, I think, for the Doflamingo now at this point, because I feel like you definitely would have run it there with the leader effect Red Hawk play. Now going into the Shanks turn with 4 done, gonna need to play a body down on the field to be able to keep up the pace, but no, just goes ahead and swings 9. Maybe no Lucky Ruin the hand, no 4-cost Tony Chopper maybe of that Punk Hazard OP10 options available depending on what build this actually is, but the 9K swing is going to get rid of that Doflamingo and almost guarantee that there's only going to be 1 swing coming at him this turn. Now the Doflamingo sitting at a 5 Dawn play, has a couple options for him, is holding pace in this game, but decides to swing 6. And now with that 6, just using a 2K Hongo, maybe the best card available, uses Gecko. Wait, can Gecko? Yeah, Gecko can't grab Gecko, I was going to say. And so on that on play, just putting out a body on the field, just saying, you know what, I know what this top card is. I can't reorder, don't want to use leader effect, but I need to keep putting bodies on the field. And so now the Shanks swinging 7, maybe top deck to 4-cost character. The Dofi is going to take it and play that Tony Chopper, like I mentioned, to be able to get a nice 6,000 power blocker on the field. It is a 4-cost though, and the 4-cost, especially for Doflamingo, if there is a Jozu in the hand right now, if there is a 4-cost Trafalgar Law from the starter decks, is going to be able to put that guy back in hand for a free swing. And there's that Jozu picking up the buggy to get that Sanji in hand. It's not the worst thing if you're the Shanks, because that is a 2K coming back into your hand, but now you have to not have a free block on this swing, and so that 6,000 power swing is just going to feed another Sanji. That's another 2K in there. No leader effects used so far in this game from these Sanjis. Maybe doesn't have any good 1Ks that they want to use, but a Silver's Rayleigh comes down now on this to minus 3,000. The Jozu, minus 2,000, the Gecko, and KO that Gecko, and a 5K swing is going right at face at this point. So just an easy counter out there, but utilizing a 2K on that, maybe has another 4-cost Gecko that they can just grab the 2K right back. I did see a flash of that Gecko in the hand, but going to start off the turn with a Perona. The Perona, going to be nice to reorder that 5 and potentially use leader effect once again. I think I see a Red Rock in that stack too. Definitely something you want to think about to grab once these boss monsters, these 10-cost Shanks, start coming down on the field. And he could maybe leave it on the top. I think I saw also in his hand a 10-cost Kaido. 10-cost Kaido's going to be nice if he can get the Shanks to take maybe another life or so to be able to draw a ton of cards. And leaves it on the top and now is sitting at 8 Dawn left on the turn. Especially with Doflamingo kind of being more of a low to the ground deck, there's a bunch of different opportunities that you can utilize within the deck to be able to be aggressive and continue swinging in this game, pressuring, putting out bodies, and is going to start off using leader effect after reordering that top to play the Crocodile. So the Crocodile, revealing a 7 Warlords type card, is going to be able to draw 2 off of that. And I think just clarifying, like, wait, does that card go to your hand or does it get put to the bottom? And yes, it does go to the hand. So is going to be swinging that 7. A Bad Manners kick course is going to be going to 8. I'm fine with the Bad Manners kick course there, because with the 7,000 power swing, right, it's easy to get out of that if you don't have any more like 2Ks really to give up in hand besides maybe that Tony Chopper blocker that was put in earlier. You don't really want to use leader effect at that point, so utilizing that Bad Manners might be nice. And so using that Gecko to grab the Dracula Mihawk back. Looks like Doflamingo's very much in the driver's seat at this point. Decided not to swing the Jozu right now. The Jozu was sitting at 4,000 power, I believe, off that power minus, so didn't want to invest that 1 Dawn onto the Jozu to be able to swing. And so the 10 cost comes down, and after countering out of that leader swing, the Rayleigh comes in swinging at that Crocodile, taking that knockout, and the 10 cost Shanks taking the second life off the Doflamingo. So we'll see if the Red Rock is in hand, be able to bottom deck that Shanks. The easiest way to get around it and resting 6, that Red Rock is going to do exactly that. Now the Jozu, back at full power, may have an opportunity at this point to go ahead and swing big at this Rayleigh, or potentially ignore it. And I think that's what he's going to do right now. Is going to be another Crocodile off this leader flip swing, but the Buggy with the 7 Warlords typing is going to go ahead and draw to put one back at the top of the deck for a later turn. Just really setting himself up right now, filtering the hand, making sure he has plenty of counter hand, plenty of cards at this point, and taking that life now going to 3. Does have 2 swings left with the Jozu and the Gecko, and so swings the Jozu first at 8,000 power. We'll see if a leader effect comes down, but it looks like another bad manner is just filtering the hand with that Zoro there. And now with the Gecko going ahead and swinging 5 at this point, if he's used leader effect, I guess he hadn't used leader effect yet, pitching another 2K Hongo, is going to go now to 10 once again. We'll see if he has another boss monster. Only 3 cards in hand at this point, I believe. So the Rayleigh going to be clearing a body potentially with the Gecko and is going to take that knockout. I think that's a fair trade if you're the Doflamingo player. The 5-drop Dream Luffy comes down from starter deck 21. Going to be resting 5 Dawn, and with that, when attacking, is going to be able to reutilize one of those Dawn to be able to swing, and it looks like he's attaching it to that Luffy on that when attacking and going ahead and swinging 7 now. Might be swinging at that Crocodile, and he is just focused on clearing board at this point. Still has 5 more Dawn left to be able to do exactly whatever he wants alongside this. Maybe try to swing 10 at this Jozu to be able to pressure it down, but I think maybe you would be better off trying to put down another body to be able to play and try to keep up pace with these guys that are hitting the field. So attaching 1 swing at lead is going to be a nice 2K counter, and that Tony Chopper comes back down. Going to be a nice blocker. We'll see if the Dofi has a way to remove it at this point. And so now drawing in for turn. Has a couple cards in hand. We saw some 2Ks in that Crocodile from OP07. It's just going to start out swinging 5, and so leader effect is going to be used to make it a 4,000 power swing. Now with this Jozu, you know that the 7,000 power swing is not going to be power minus in a sense. It's going to be give me 2 cards, either a 2K, 1K combo, or a Bad Manners Kick Course and another card to trash off of that. I'll pause it right now so I can answer your question, Penguin. Is Bonclay really worth it? I mean, it's hard. I mean, you have to think about it in a financial perspective. And it's also like really hard to tell if Bonclay's worth it. Like, it's really hard justifying $200 for a playset right now, right, of a card. But in my opinion, no, it's not worth it because there are so many other decks to play with that specific card, right? You don't have to play it in something like Reiju. You could play Shanks, you could play Dofi, right? Not purple decks. You could play Lim, a purple deck that doesn't have that card. Like, there's so many decks that you can play that are viable that you don't need that card. But if your heart is set on blue-purple Luffy and being ready for blue-purple Luffy, think about it this way. If you want to play blue-purple Luffy, you definitely need the Bonclays, right? Not up for discussion. You need the Bonclays in blue-purple Luffy. As of right now, OP11 is out in the East, and OP11 is out in the East, and PRB is not. PRB02 is not out in the East. We don't know what's in that set. So there's definitely going to be a time where you're playing blue-purple Luffy without the potential, I emphasize potential reprint of Bonclay in PRB02. So it really just depends on what your heart is set on in terms of a deck that you want to play. In my opinion, no, I don't think spending $200 for a playset is worth it in One Piece because you don't need it for every single deck. But if your heart is set on Blue Purple Luffy and you're like, once 11 comes out, I'm going to be playing that deck because it's so sick and it's so fun, because it is, right? It is really fun. I'm going to be playing that deck no matter what. Then yes, $200 is justified for a playset because it's going to be way more. It's going to continue going up, right? And especially once OP11 releases, I bet it's going to be a $60+ card. So if you want my personal opinion, it's only reasonable to buy if you are so dedicated to Blue Purple Luffy that you're going to play it. Of course, yeah. Yeah, like there's so many, and that's why I talk about it like a lot of decks, like what we were talking about earlier, like showcasing you know, like out of the 12 decks I think I showcased, only one of them played Bon Clay. There's so many decks that you can play, and like if you look at these two decks, neither of these two decks play it, and if you look at this guy, this Zoro guy doesn't play it, and this Rob Lucci deck right here doesn't play it. You know, and this is me right here playing Nami. By the way, Nami doesn't play it. This is Red Purple Luffy. No, this is Shanks. This is another Shanks. But Red Purple Luffy also doesn't. Or kind of plays it. Maybe you don't have to play it, but yeah. Like if you're playing if you're playing Green Uta, no, you don't need it. No. Red Purple Uta, I don't know if you need it in Red Purple Uta. I would imagine you can get away with not playing it, but yeah, like there's plenty of decks that you don't need it. So I didn't like really answer your question, but I hope that gives you like an understanding of like, and that's true with any card, right? Like Green Cavendish, right? Cavendish is a $35+ card. I also don't think $140 for a playset of cards is worth it. But it's only worth it right now if you have your heart set on playing a specific deck that needs it. If you're just getting into the game and you don't know what deck you want to play, yeah, and even the Black Purple Luffy deck, as Kid Khan saying, like maybe that doesn't even need it. You know, you might be able to get away with not playing that deck or playing that card in that deck, you know? So it's like, it just depends on what you want to play. There's enough decks in the One Piece trading card game, especially in this format right now, before OP11 releases, and even after OP11 releases. Like, there's enough decks that you can play that don't have that card. So if it gatekeeps you from playing a specific deck, that's fine, you know? Because One Piece is different than something like Pokemon, where, like, you know, every deck plays, like, Ultra Ball. Every deck plays, like, Buddy Buddy Poffins, Nest Balls, Professor's Research, Iono. So you need those cards. But One Piece is not like that because of the color typing, in a sense. Yeah, like, there's options if you really, really want to play the deck that bad. But Blue Purple Luffy, I don't know. I think Blue Purple Luffy, you got to play that card, unfortunately. And so thinking about this Jozu swing right here, this is definitely a tricky option, right? And decides to block, says, you know what, there's a possibility that you may bounce this back into hand with your Tendon. So I'm going to go ahead and get the value right now. And the Dofu player says, you know what, this Kaido right here, going to be drawing cards with 3 life. There's 4 cards now that go to hand, and without something like putting in a Shanks deck that resets the hand, right? You're not worried about losing any of this fat stack of cards in hand. I think he's got double-digit cards in hand at this point. And so, starting off with the 7,000 power swing is going to do a pitch of a 2K, 1K Sengoku buggy right there. Still has plenty in the hand right now. And so, needs to play down a character before using that swing and getting that rested done. We'll see what he plays out. Another 10-drop boss monster would be nice. There is an Ace. Ace, although it does not have Rush, is going to be a really sticky body, right? Especially with the removal of the Doflamingo deck like Red Rock. And so that Luffy going to be swinging 7 and another 2k 1k combo coming out of the hand. And so the rest of the Dawn being attached to the Rayleigh and swinging now at the Jozu. So got to be thinking right now if you want to save it or not, but decides not to. Says, you know what, this Kaido is going to be enough to be able to get rid of this Rayleigh probably. And so starts off the Kaido swinging at the Luffy, and that's an easy KO. You don't have enough cards in hand to be able to get rid of that guy. And so these 6, maybe another Red Rock, and that's a Red Rock going over the Rayleigh. Now the board is cleared entirely. A great set of opportunities right now, and with the rest of the 4 is going to go ahead, play the Boa. I like the Boa play right here, right? Is going to reset your hand in a sense, or reset the top of your deck, I should say, and now gives you a Rested Dawn for the 6. Is going to go ahead, take that life. This Shanks needs cards in the hand right now to be able to compete in this game. And so even though you could go at a leader effect 1k, is going to go ahead, do the minusing on the Boa to get a nice KO. And the Ace 2k and Shanks take a life combo is going to be a quick get back into the Doflamingo's turn right here. So now on the Doflamingo, you got the whole world at your fingertips. It feels like. I think I saw a Rush Usopp in that hand. Correct me if I'm wrong, potentially, but there is definitely a Perfume Femur, so a late game blocker, not going to be able to be used in effectiveness as you would think. But with the 2, after restacking that deck, is going to go ahead and find that Weevil to draw a card, is going to go ahead, leader effect 2k to just be a nice 1 card pitch off the hand, and only about 2 cards in hand, I think, at this point. Doflamingo doing a pretty good job of getting the long con of this game. Is thinking about what he wants to do with the rest of the Dawn. You could go ahead and maybe swing with the Perona at the Ace. That might be a nice opportunity, but I think the Kaido definitely going at the Ace at this point, right? You know there's only a couple cards in hand. Leader effect is gone. This Ace is probably going down with that big, giant Kaido swing. So it looks like maybe attaching the Dawn to the Perona, like I mentioned, just going to be swinging a 5 at life, just trying to do a little bit of poke damage, gets a 1k off of the Ace in hand, only 1 card in hand. You might be able to go ahead and ignore the Ace that's on the board right here and just swing this Kaido at face, play another body on the field with the 4 Dawn that you have left, and just use... Oh my gosh, he did have a Rush Usopp in hand. So is going to go ahead and use the Rush Usopp. Swing 5 at lead, gets that life. Kaido gets that life. And now it's up to the Shanks. You're going to need to probably win this game at this point in order to stay in it, right? You've got to win now. Because the Doflamingo has had plenty of opportunity to manipulate the top of his deck, churn through the top of his deck, draw cards. You think that with a spicy list like this of Kaido and Usopp, that Perfume Femur is probably somewhere within this deck as well. And, you know, as the casting crew and viewing audience, we saw that flash of the Perfume Femur in the deck. And with only a couple cards in hand, what can you do at this point? Yeah, I think Zoro is a really good option, and Purple Black Luffy if you want to use that instead. I will always justify Zoro in 4 life leaders. I love Zoro. The Shanks is cooked, chat. Doo-doo-doo. Just waiting. Now, because you do have a couple different medium to large size bodies on the field, there is an opportunity, especially because there's been plenty of 2K, 1K combos given, that you could potentially math it out and be able to get all three of these swings to connect, potentially a fourth if you have a rush character in the Dream Luffy from Starter Deck 21, but it seems highly unlikely at this point. I don't think Rush Usopp is that good in Doflamingo, but I do think it's a very funny deck and a very cool one at that. It's definitely something that your opponents like probably will not expect, right? Like if you're especially at the 10 Dawn turn, like he was right there. Like being able when your opponent thinks that there's no more swings left to just go in with another 5,000 power swing is just like, oh. I think so, Penguin. I think Doflamingo is a pretty beginner-friendly deck. I mean, any deck, in my opinion, no deck really is, like, insanely easy to pick up. But, like, Doflamingo has plenty of cheap options alongside the deck. It's a relatively cheap deck. And it's a good one, too. It's like a top 5 deck, in my opinion. Yo, what's up, Mary? I hope so, Mary. I hope there's good stuff in those two. I'm really curious what's in the Shanks and Blackbeard decks. Mostly just because I'm like, why did these two guys get starter decks? Yeah, Katakuri's a good one too, as Kek's saying. Katakuri's a good one. No, I don't think green purple limb is a mistake on your end. It's a really, really cheap deck, and it's a good deck. I mean, it's just like any other, like you can pick up, I mean, it's just like in Pokemon, like, or just any other card game. Like you can net deck a deck, but that doesn't mean that you're automatically going to win with it. Like you have to learn matchups. You have to like learn how the deck functions in general, like the right time of playing specific things. Like every deck has those niche opportunities. And so an 8,000 power swing off this Silvers Rayleigh is going to go through. We'll see exactly where it's going, but I think he sees the writing on the wall. Going to need to be going to face. And so there's a 2K, 1K, 1K going in right there. Says, you know what? You need a rush character. And there's a Zoro coming down. So the Zoro with 2 Dawn is going to have the ability to get rushed. So with the rest of this 6 Dawn, can you try to math it out with about 4 or 5 cards in hand? I think 4. Can you go in and get this win off of here? It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. What's the correct math with your 5,000 power leader, 5,000 power Zoro, and 6,000 power Ace? You know that you're going to need to commit 2 Dawn at least to the Zoro, right? Because that's how it's going to qualify with Rush. Your opportunity in this game might be something like a 7-7-8 on the Zoro, Shanks, and Ace combo, right in that order. 7,000 power on the Zoro, 7,000 power on the Shanks, and then 8,000 power on the Ace. Maybe your best combination at this point to try to finish out this game plan. And I think just swings 5,000 power at lead. And so as Doflamingo, especially if you're confident with the counter in hand that you can get out of these swings, if you kind of did the math in your head, an easy take for you right there. And there's 2 Dawn going to the Zoro. I think he actually swung 7 at, just didn't put it fully under his leader, but with the 7,000 power leader and 7,000 power Zoro is going to be 7-7. And then with the Ace, going to be 2K on the 8,000 power swing to get out of that one. A fair amount of non-counter in hand with the Law and Boa, right? Law, Boa, and Gecko is only 2,000 counter in total. And especially with that Perfume Femur, right? There maybe was an opportunity depending on what the life was, because we know already that the Gecko and the Perfume Femur were already in the hand, but definitely the Doflamingo putting himself in a pretty good position, I feel like, with the aggression of Kaido and the Usopp to clear out that game and really put the Shanks player on the ropes in that one. Yeah, he was in the think tank for a while. Which there was plenty of time at locals, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Well, that's just like learning decks, Penguin. If there was a deck, in my opinion, if there was a deck that was truly like super easy and, you know, was like a top tier deck, then it would take up like 60% of the room at a tournament. But there's not really like that. There's not really one that exists like that. So you're just going to have to put in the time, you know, which is like most other card games, in my opinion. I hope Blackbeard doesn't have that. I really hope Blackbeard just stays. I hope that it doesn't really get any cards that benefit it too much. I don't want Blackbeard to be better. I feel the same with Blackbeard as I do about Nami, to where I feel like those decks inherently don't need to be the best. Like I feel like those decks should not be the best decks in format. Am I taking casting submissions? Well, no, I'm not hosting any tournaments anytime soon. I got a Vega Punk mirror EB02. A Vega Punk. Oh, are you talking about like sending me videos to cast? Are you talking about like that? I thought you meant as in like me hosting a tournament or like me running a tournament and I needed someone to cast with. Are you talking about like sending me videos to cast? Because I'm up for that. I feel like a Vega Punk mirror actually would probably be good for me to watch, to be honest. What OP12 deck are you excited for the most? You want to play Koala because it's just going to be 20 card Robin deck, and I love her. I do love some of the cards in Koala, but I don't want to answer, or I don't have an answer for that. Mostly because for me personally, I'm not excited about decks until I see everything in the set, right? Like, Koala is cool, and Koala has a really interesting leader effect, but so does Sanji, and so does Zoro, and so does Rayleigh, and so does, what's the other leaders? Kuzan. So, like, they're all kind of cool, but I'm going to wait to answer that question until, until I whatchamacallit, see the whole set, you know. I'm sorry that I didn't really answer your question, but like when we see the whole set list, right? I'll answer that question. But I do think the leaders are really interesting in this set. Like I find all the ones that I mentioned to be like super interesting. I think like Bandai's doing a pretty decent job of like trying to bring in more uniqueness with leaders. Yeah, OP12's not that far away. Yeah. When does it come out? I think a release date just came out. Asia products. That's OP13. OP12. May 31st. Yeah, so it's this month. And we'll probably have a full set list maybe like a week before the set releases. A week and a half. Might want to put it on 2x speed. How long is this video? Oh, thank you for these pictures, by the way. The pictures where I absolutely threw. against the Uta. Man, I had that game too. I had that game. You just reminded me of that monstrosity, but it's a good picture. It's a good picture for sure. Well, it's only 21 minutes. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. I'll watch the whole thing. I do need to change up this overlay though real quick. Bada bum. And bada bum. Chat, feel free as well if you guys oh, I can't wait to watch the Champions League later tonight. I can't wait to watch this later tonight for anybody who's interested in Pokemon. I can't wait to watch this. This is the Team Rocket Champions League. For anybody that ever wants to send me like not necessarily like VOD reviews, but wants me to commentate over their games, what are these sleeves, buddy? You're going to get me demonetized. What are these sleeves? What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. But that's fine. I know who it is. I know who it is, but why do you have those sleeves? You're wild. You're wild. Something that doesn't become the new Morio or Gum Gum Giant. Yeah, like I think they're doing a very interesting job of like trying to make unique, cool, good cards that are more restricted to certain archetypes. And I don't know if that's a good direction for the game. I don't know if it's a bad direction for the game, but how crazy are we talking? Would that demonetize it? Probably not. I don't know. It probably wouldn't. I've never played Nikkei, so I can't answer that question. But I know it has a Weiss set. This background reminds me of my hometown, chat. The farm. This reminds me of the Midwest. Right where I came from. The country. I'm just kidding. Although this is a very pretty background. Although, I don't know what these lines are for. What did you do with this? That's crazy. But anyways, chat. We've got a Vega Punk mirror here going on. Looks like our player here at the bottom, Keck, chose second on this. So decides to keep the hand. Has some good stuff in the hand, I feel like, with the search and also the Luffy. Ryan has some early removal. What are you typing in that chat? Oh, wait a minute. Actually, we're going to start it over, chat. I wasn't hitting recording. I know I can take the Twitch VOD, but if worse comes to worse and I drop frames or whatever, I don't want to lose that on Twitch. I edited so the pictures look bigger. Yeah, but you still have these lines. I'm just making fun of you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So Vega Punk on the dice roll, choosing second if you win, if you ever face a Vega Punk mirror, which could be something coming out in EB02. EB02, as the Europeans and some of my locals calling it, the secret sauce of the format. Finds on this starting hand, deciding to keep it. A couple different options with the Lilith Luffy, right, being some good removal, and also a couple different filter cards of the sort. So starting it off on that first one is going to play the Pythagoras, not really doing anything too much as of right now, but utilizing that leader effect and starting out with a Pythagoras of his own, right? A nice 6,000 power body on the field is going to be really, really nice to be able to battle against some of these other bodies that could hit the field, especially if something like a Lilith comes down, right? It's going to need some Dawn to be able to battle with these different bodies. And so first life is the Please Save Me is not going to use a trigger, but the new EB02 Vega Punk coming down is going to be able to search for that top 5. Did not find a Scientist on there and still has to trash a card because they're at 2 life at this point and the character limit on the field. Still at the start of the game, though, the Pythagoras is going to swing, going to try to net a card. Already, the player up top being low on that hand size, but the on KO effect of the Pythagoras is going to put out a Lilith for a nice search, and for the rest of the Dawn in the turn is going to hard play the Lilith on the field to be able to find a nice egghead stage, and with this one Dawn, can go ahead, deploy a card either in the life or on the field. Might go ahead and play this Luffy down, utilizing that effect to KO the Lilith. Really control the field now at this point. Finds a Dareshi on that draw. And so now using this one cost event that I need to remember what the name is of that event is going to go ahead and find a Nami. Nami's going to be nice to get rid of this Pythagoras without swinging at it, right? Because you have no opportunity right now to swing unless you attach all of it onto this Vega Punk. Is just going to play that Luffy down on the field with, I believe, the leader effect, but hold it there at this point. Maybe just says, okay, I'm going to wait and see what you put down for the rest of the upcoming turns. And now the player at the bottom using Dareshi to draw Lilith, and I believe it was Pythagoras there. Now on the search, going in, trying to find another card right here. Going to find a egghead Scientist kind of card. That Vega Punk at this point is going to eventually use the leader effect to put one of these guys down and grabs so many cards. Look at this hand size in comparison. Oh, the card is called He Possesses the World's Most Brilliant Mind. Thank you, Twitch chat. But anyways, using that leader effect to play the Vega Punk down, does not find a Scientist-type character in that search. After finding a couple of them earlier and doing some filtering, is going to go ahead and play something down. So thinking about what the best option is here, might honestly, or I'm sorry, shoot, you had to discard. Rewind. Is going to think about what he wants to discard on this. What's the worst card in his hand right now? And it's that Pythagoras right there. So still holding on to the Please Save Me's, right? A great opportunity to give some counter power on the defense. And so now this Luffy, really if it wants to pop, its only option is getting rid of the Lily. An interesting point though at this An interesting spot at this point as the Nami gets rid of the Pythagoras. No swinging coming in from the Pythagoras and Lily characters on the field. So the Pythagoras goes down. No effect coming off this to play a character on the field. And so now this 6,000 power swing is just going to go ahead and take it. And with the Shaka trigger is going to play that guy down. A nice 6,000 power blocker. 2 blockers on the field as the Luffy pops the Lilith. And the leader effect is going to come in and play a Lilith of its own on the top. Is going to go ahead, find a nice Vega Punk blocker. Going to be a couple different blockers coming in on this field. And so now at a 8 Dawn turn, the leader effect is going to play the Please Save Me in life. Going to be very nice for the later stages of the game. And with the Nami coming in, is going to go ahead and KO something on the field. Could be a Nami or a Lilith, one of those 2 characters. Thinking about what the best opportunity is, and a Nami going for the Nami How poetic is that? And so now the Shaka swinging 6,000 power in the Egghead stage. Going to be really nice to play on the field to restand the Shaka as an Atlas trigger comes in. And with that Egghead stage, works so well with this blocker Shaka, right? The Shaka makes a free 6,000 power swing. And so now the player up top starting out with a 5,000 power swing on the Lilith, going to go on the aggressive. Could just be a free swing with the Shaka, or a free block, I'm sorry, of the Shaka, and that's exactly what he's doing at this point. Now this Atlas could go in and start swinging at the Shaka right now, but first playing a Vega Punk to get this Lilith out on the field for an extra search is going to help replenish the hand, right? I talked about hand advantage earlier in this being heavily on the near side, right? The bottom side Vega Punk, but now has switched over to the Vega Punk on the top side at this point. So the 6,000 power Atlas swing is going to net a 2K Edison, putting the bottom player down to 3 cards in hand. And 3 Dawn left is going to use 1 for the leader effect to put a Please Save Me in that life. And so now another Lilith coming down on the field. Plenty of searching in this game is going to be he possesses the world's most brilliant mind to get once again another search going. You could go ahead and grab the Luffy, but decides to just continue filtering with the Lilith. Could go ahead and use this Nami on the leader effect to go in and replace one of these characters on the field and KO something important like the Atlas, but starts out with the 5K swing at the Lilith right here, trying to net 1 card or the blocker in the hand. Is maybe thinking about attaching 2 of this Dawn to the Shaka to be able to swing 8,000 power now at the Lilith, just getting rid of it, nets a block from the Vega Punk blocker, and the leader effect is going to go ahead and deploy this Nami, put it down on the field in replacement over the other Nami, right? And then using that Nami effect is going to be nice to get rid of this Atlas off of the Nami effect, right? Get it off the field and draw 1 card, being at 2 cards after that discard. And so now the top player starting out the turn just doing a 5,000 power swing is once again going to be a free block, so we'll see if the other Lilith, similar to last turn, just goes in and swings at it. Is going to go ahead and play that 5-cost Sanji. 5-cost Sanji, very interesting in this Vega Punk deck, right? Going to be really nice as a 2-life leader to get that on play effect. Draw 2 and trash 1 is going to be really good to be able to filter in this, as well as having a dependable blocker in the turn. The leader effect is going to go ahead and play the Vega Punk. So Vega Punk, we'll see if they can find something on there, but looks like ends up whiffing on this search, right? Plenty of searches throughout the game so far at this point. And if you have enough searches, statistically speaking, you're going to whiff some of them. And so now this Lilith swing is going to net the Vega Punk blocker. And now with 4 swings left on the field, the Nami combo once again comes in to be able to KO that Sanji and be able to draw a card off of this with 5 Dawn left in the turn. Still plenty for leader effect and plenty of swings. We're going to attach 1 to the Shaka and swing 7 now at the Lilith. It's going to net either a 2K, 1K, a block, or nothing at all, and just the KO, the double KOs at this point, now swinging freely at this Vega Punk leader up top. Going to be a Please Save Me trigger on here, playing down another Vega Punk, and the Vega Punk once again just goes ahead and whiffs, but now you have 2 blockers on the field, and you're definitely going to take this one. Going to be a trigger with the Atlas to play it on the field. And now with the leader effect is going to think about whether or not he wants to go in with the Luffy or not. And the Luffy is going to come in on here, not going to be going into the life, passing the turn after restaining the Shaka. And now a 6,000 power swing is going to come somewhere at least. The 6,000 power swing, only 1 Shaka blocker on the field, but as the Vega Punk at the bottom side, you're only really worried about 1 character swinging in the Atlas, right? Those Vega Punks being a 0 power character. The Atlas, now swinging 8,000 power at the Nami, is going to go ahead and take that knockout. The Luffy that came down last turn goes in and takes out the Lilith now, so controlling the board, getting that leader effect to put a Shaka on that life. You know, as soon as you swing at that leader, it's going to be a free Shaka hitting the field. And so now the Vega Punk is going to go ahead and play the Shaka off of the search. Definitely one of the better options, in my opinion, to find off of the Vega Punk search. Now has plenty of blockers that can only be responded with the Nami. Swings 9,000 power at Atlas, is going to take that knockout. It looks like the control really in the bottom side Vega Punk at this stage of the game, and just another 8 going at lead at this point is going to net that Shaka blocker on the field. And now another 8 or 9, I'm sorry, from the Luffy is just going to try to stall out these blockers as much as possible. Only 2 cards in hand on the bottom side, 6 on the top side. A Edison is going to be nice for a draw to trash to help filter the hand a bit, pitching the Dureshi and Frankie. And now with the what did he draw off of that? Definitely used the world's greatest brain, found the Nami, and then put the please save me back in life. Especially with the sim games instead of the IRL games, things can kind of go a little bit fast depending on some of the placements of the interactions. But passing the turn over to the bottom side, the Shaka swing is going to net a block. Luffy now getting a life. The please save me, bringing in another Vega Punk. Blockers just being churned over and over. And if you're wondering why this Vega Punk is making so much noise out here in the West heading into the EB02 format, this is a great example why, right? Being able to just stall out the game, make it long, and also be able to churn these blockers again and again with these different events and effects and triggers and whatnot, just provides a really interesting position within the format to give a lot of struggle and overwhelm your opponents at this point. And so now attaching 3 Dawn and swinging 8,000 power is going for the fences at this point. Is going to swing 10,000 power, it looks like, with this Shaka at life. And is either going to net another please save me in hand. But first, the block off of the Shaka. And so with the Shaka, looks like he's going to be countering out of this one. Does need to pitch another 1K, and it looks like 3 2Ks coming in. The leader effect playing a Pythagoras onto the field, restanding the Shaka with the Egghead stage, and now really puts it on the top side opponent right now after netting so many cards in hand on that defense. It's going to be tough for the Vega Punk top side to get an opening within this game. Did find an OP08 Nami, though, off the Dureshi, as well as he possesses the world's most brilliant mind, is going to be able to find a bunch of cards, but did not find any. Looks like it was actually a whiff on that search right there. Just the decks going so thin at this point, but instead finds a Frankie off the world's greatest brain right there. So with that, Nami does go ahead, take that knockout on that standing Shaka. Only the 0 power Vega Punk left standing on the block. And so now you got to think about, as the bottom side Vega Punk, do you give up any cards on this? And so does pitch that one Vega Punk. Does have another opportunity through the leader effect now. Puts another please save me on that life. You got to think about how many please save me's each player has gone through within this game. We know that 2 of them on this bottom side have been used, one being in the life for what seems like forever, and the other one being in hand since the start of the game. So now off of the search is going to go ahead, net some Frankie, and he possesses the world's most brilliant mind. Finding another 2K is going to be nice to have that hand advantage, right? Plenty of 2Ks to be able to utilize. So now 2 Dawn going to the Nami, swinging 7. The player at the bottom side really just ignoring at this point a lot of what's been on the board for the top side and just continuously swinging at face. Really, again, like I mentioned, just trying to apply pressure so far in this game. Whew, sim games are so quick. I would not have been able to do this at 2x speed. What the heck? Sim games are so fast. And so ends up taking the life, uses that please save me, puts a Nami down, maybe thinking about KOing this Shaka on the field, but no, uses the Pythagoras at this point. The Pythagoras, in my opinion, is very interesting, especially with that egghead stage on the field, because now your Shaka has a free swing and the Lilith comes in and grabs a 2K Frankie. More counter in the hand. And so now this 8,000 power swing, going to be a block from the Shaka, is a KO, and the end turn phase is just going to restand the Shaka that's on the field. But putting the Edison down on the field is going to filter a little bit in the hand. Very interesting to choose filter on this one, but goes ahead and filters, keeps that Nami in hand in case another blocker comes out on the field this upcoming turn, right? Going to be able to KO it. And so now you put the top player in a position to where you need to play plenty of blockers on the field, and you need to remove the stuff that's going on right now. And so now the 5,000 power swing going at this Lilith, going to be tough, but the Shaka with the free block at this point, another 5,000 power swing, Nami at Nami violence, trashing the 2K Frankie on the counter, still has one more blocker left in the Vega Punk. Ooh, good pops in my neck right now. The 5,000 power swing once again going at this Nami, just trying to net another card in hand, stopping the onslaught of swings that they know are coming. Is maybe thinking about using another Frankie 2K counter, and there goes the Vega Punk. Is it going to play something down? A Shaka, an excellent spot. Probably your best option for the Vega Punk at this point in the game. And with the please save me, you know that not only that there's two blockers on the field, but the please save me in the life is going to net another Shaka blocker on the field. So you really have to get around 3 blockers on this turn. And so starting it out, it's just going to be a 6K swing, decides to go at the Lilith instead. So says, you know what, now I think I need to pivot. I need to clear board at this point. Is just going to swing a bunch of 6s at the field. And so now swinging at this Nami is going to take another knockout, just minimizing the amount of threats that are going on at this point. Is going to go ahead, use the Nami to play down a Nami, or use leader effect to play down the Nami on the field, get rid of this Shaka, draws into another please save me, could go ahead and just have 2 Donna for the defense if you want. And now this 8,000 power swing going at the Nami, swings the bear 6 with this Shaka. You know that the please save me is going to net something off this life if they take it, and we'll see if they've got a 2K in hand to be able to pitch off on this attack and keep this 1 life steady. And so no, ends up taking it at this point, is going to decide what they want to put on the field. It's going to be a Nami, get rid of the Shaka, and now you gotta think as Vega Punk, what do you do with the rest of this Dawn? You can't go ahead and swing, but with the end of turn phase, just restand the Nami. I feel like with the plenty of Dawn, you're pretty safe at this point in terms of counter power, and you've really put your Vega Punk opponent up top on the ropes right now. You're more so on the aggression, but with the Nami play down right here, pitching that Pythagoras is going to get rid of one of the standing Namis right now and net 1 card off that draw. He possesses the world's most brilliant mind, is going to be a potential draw. A nice Monkey D Luffy right here. This could be an opportunity to get rid of the Lilith, but no, ends up swinging 8,000 power with the Lilith. Going to be a block on that one. And so with the leader effect, putting a Shaka in life, now you know that you need probably 3 swings at this point. And so now thinking about off this Dareshi, what you can get, anything with a trigger on it, gets a Vega Punk and a Luffy at this point, is going to use the leader effect to get that please save me out in the life, and then playing the Vega Punk blocker for the Lilith, right? A nice find there, grabs a 2K off the Edison, and with the 1 Dawn, is thinking about attaching, but I do agree with this play of just leaving that 1 up, right? You have that please save me. You want to make them think about that please save me in the hand. And so with that counter on there, is going to go ahead and attach the 1 swing 6 at the Nami, which which procs the block at this point. And so now this grindy game continuing on for another turn. One of these players has to run out of gas. And then I think the writing is on the wall for the player up top. I think it might be over here soon. A little bit of cards left in hand, but we'll see what they can do. The 5K swing is a counter at that point. 4 cards left in deck right now, and the Luffy coming in, taking out the Lilith, puts the Vega Punk up top at 3 cards in hand, trying to find something to keep him in the game. And so the 5K swing at Lilith, gonna net that Edison 2K. You know, all of your bodies are staying on the field. No more swings. Only something like the Nami can pop that. And 2 cards left. Gets that Nami off the field. And you know now that you're going to survive right at this point. And so puts the please save me in life. I think if you're the Vega Punk on the bottom side, you are just chilling at this point, right? You are just saying, okay, that's fine. You're probably in the stages of deck out now. I have 3 please save me's for 3 Shakas that can come out on the field. You only got 1 card left. Ends up drawing it off of the Dreshi. Saw the writing on the wall. Absolutely insane game. And that's the cool thing about the Vega Punk mirror match. Thank you again to Keck for submitting that that gameplay video. That was definitely an interesting one. There's definitely some intricacies like in this mirror match that I find fascinating, right? Constantly being able to cycle these please save me's and utilize the please save me's to constantly cycle these blockers, right? Vegapunk finding the Shaka is an insane game plan, right? Even Vegapunk Lilith, right, to be able to find like another piece like the Nami or something like that is crazy. This was definitely a cool game. That was definitely a cool one. Thank you for sending that, Vegapunk. Or, all right, now you're Vegapunk in my mind. I just called you Vegapunk by accident. Thank you, Keck, for doing that. Yeah, the stage is also like really interesting. I think the stage is just like overall good, right? Especially as like a 1 of or something, or like a 2 of, because like it provides you so much value on like getting that extra swing, right? One of the things about Vegapunk that makes it difficult, I feel like, in the format is that it can't swing, right? That's why you only see like some of the top decks, like or the top players, right, piloting these like wacky decks, like Cross with Rebecca, right? Like can't swing leader, still has like moderate success with it, like more success than most anybody thought. And like Iceberg's not played, right? What's another like can attack leader? There's definitely more. What am I thinking of? There's another leader that can attack. It's not just those 3. Whoa! Yo, Renee, how was your Reiju stream? No, actually, no, you weren't doing Reiju. You were probably doing the every leader on rank challenge, right? Maybe. Thank you so much for following. How you doing, friend? Hello. Oh, Vivi, yeah, like Vivi is another one. Like you don't see those leaders top really ever since they've released, because like it's not a good position for them, like in these formats. Like they really struggle against some of the leaders. But Vegapunk just having so much search and so much aggression and so much removal and recycling, and like Keck saying, like you start out like a 1 Dawn turn is really 5 Dawn because of leader effects. So it's like a really interesting position. It's definitely the best out of the can attack leaders. Oh, Impress. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Oh, you 11 leaders. You lost your elo on Zephyr. You'll have to let our Discord members know about that, because there's the I can't remember who, but there's the couple people that were like, Zephyr, good deck, and you can be like, no. I'm just kidding. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. It's a funny idea though. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you enjoyed your stream. Worm and Psych. Thank you so much for following the Twitch stream earlier as well. Oh, man. We just watched a wacky mirror match. Wacky mirror match. Vega Punk mirror match is really interesting. And I wonder, I'm really curious if we'll see it this weekend. Right? Like in either the Core TCG Regional or the Play TCG Treasure Cup. But chat, I apologize, Renee. But I apologize, but I was just about to end stream. Chat, the even though the stream is ending here shortly, don't forget, we will be creating content tomorrow. I promise. We will be creating content tomorrow. I will let you guys know in the Discord. I will let you guys know in the Discord what we are going to be doing, right? And I'll link you as well to what is going on. But chat, with the news of EB02, if you do not know, EB02 pull rates, absolutely trash. So if you need something to do, oh yeah, you know what? You're right. It's OP10. Then I guess for the verses, or no, it would have to be like, it would have to be the week of the, is it the booster box that's hosting the Treasure Cup or the regional? It would have to be the weekend of the 17th. You're right. Yeah. Can you show some Iceberg gameplay? I have a VOD of Iceberg gameplay. But chat, EB02 pull rates are trash, so you're going to have to buy singles more than likely for this set. So there's a nice video for you right there if you want to watch to be knowledgeable about what singles you should be getting in this set. I really like Iceberg. I love Iceberg. I love Iceberg. Show me your, I'm going to just snipe your VOD. I'm going to snipe your VOD, Renee. And then I'm going to steal the list. Wait a minute. Click, click, click. I'm going to steal the list and not give you any credit. No, your VOD's not public. Scammed. Absolutely scammed. Yeah, you don't have your VODs public. Show me your list. I just want to play Iceberg. I want to play Iceberg so bad. But chat, that's going to be all today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Videos coming soon. Chat, more videos coming soon. And also more content coming soon. I'll be mad at the list. Is it like a Reiju list, but just with an Iceberg leader? No way. But chat, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Appreciate you a ton. And I hope to see you in the next stream, in the next video over on Twitch or YouTube, chat. Thank you so much for watching. And have a great rest of the night. Have a good weekend too. Or actually, I'll see a lot of you tomorrow. No leaks on what we're doing yet. But it's pretty cool, chat. Anyways, I'll see you later, chat.